Sound is about to go live now, ladies and gentlemen.
Sound is live.
Hello. And welcome.
I heard
to
we
the
was
Honeycomb
getting
Hideout.
paid even before we came on the show.
The heavy metal rock reset. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We're at the Honeycomb Hideout.
Yo,
I love your announcing.
It's like Max Headroom.
Oh my gosh.
You guys remember Max Headroom?
Who is
Johnny,
Max
you don't know
Headroom?
who Max
she
Headroom
wasn't even
is.
born.
Tell me who it is. Tell me.
You'd have to look it up later.
But why can't you just
It's
tell
because it's
me?
one of those things you can't really explain.
It's very now though, in terms of like,
It was ahead of its time.
you know.
Is Pim mic on?
Is Pem's microphone on?
Am I not talking into the mic?
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Mr. Manager Guy.
Yeah, no.
Figure it out, you fool.
So those of you who don't know what the Honeycomb Hideout is all about, it's definitely feel like it's a spawn of the rock metal reset, but definitely an educational program, and it's a program about discovery. It's a live stream about discovery. It's talking about the industry, the music business, our experiences. It certainly is being hosted here on the band page, but I have my panel with me, and here is my celebrity merch girl, Miss Lexi Swarm.
Hi. Hello.
My name is William Savant. I'm a composer and co-founder of Sepsiss. What the hell? I wasn't going to clap for myself. I appreciate you. And this is my bass player, Sepsiss, for 8 years. Johnny, he won't go anywhere else, Impact.
Boo
A
boo.
real rock star.
A real rock star. We always have a rock star moment with John.
Oh, we do. We'll talk about that.
So we'll
later.
talk about
Yeah,
that.
We'll talk about that later.
And it wouldn't be complete, if, because we have all different varieties. We're like the United Nations of heavy metal here at Sepsiss.
I like that.
And of course,
I like that.
Melissa Wolf hosts her talk show called Swarm TV every Sunday. So
Yes.
I was jealous. And I said, why can't me and my friend JP have a talk show on Wednesday, every other Wednesday?
Every other Wednesday, folks.
This happens to be it. So she granted me the keys to the castle. This is it. It's a work in progress. And sometimes we even have guests, like guest speakers or guest musicians.
Last week was amazing. Last 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to the band last
A
week.
day to attend.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. They were fantastic.
So if you're interested
Love those guys.
in coming on the program or playing here on the live cast, it might happen for you. That is an opportunity that exists for some people. Not everybody.
So I'm just going to add my 2 cents. Is that okay?
For sure.
Okay. So, I'm the manager guy. So I'm supposed to be the character on a show that is like, serious. You're not going to get that from me. What you're going to get is the truth. Sometimes you're going to get inappropriate truth. But it's the truth, What happened was a couple years ago when Will and I actually started to become good friends, we would do these meetings in the morning.
Yeah, like coffee talk stuff.
Yeah, we'd talk about stuff. And
We're
some
morning guys.
Some of it would be like, something about a show or a venue or a promoter that pissed us off or a band that pissed me off.
It'd start that way.
It did start that way. And then it would just turn into stuff like, what are you having for breakfast? Or, hey, JP, which woman did you bang last night? That type of thing. So, listen, Lexi, I'm going to tell you something about this panel that you're on right now.
Thank you, Samantha.
If you were to look at this panel, if like the normal average like music fan were to look at this panel, we're all very different, right? I mean, look at us. We all cater to different demographics.
Well, that's the point.
Right, but here's the thing. Most rock and roll fans that would look at this panel, they wouldn't be able to pick out who the craziest people were. I mean, they might because Johnny's pretty crazy.
It's slight. Yeah, this is definitely sleight of hand.
Thank you, guys.
You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't know like the real Lexi. And like you're a wonderful human being. Most people wouldn't realize that because you're a rock and roller and all. They wouldn't get it. Will is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and nobody would pick that. I mean, he's got a face tattoo. What the fuck? Anyways.
I've got a hornet tattooed on my face, John.
Anyways,
The size of a real wasp.
and on top of that, right? Like it's the world has changed. Back in my day, back in the good old days, kids, the 80s. Things were crazy. Groupies, they ran after, like, the rock star. And they still kind of do. It's just, they've changed. But some of those ladies have smartened up. They walk into a room and they watch and they see their favorite rock stars running around. And they realize that the rock stars, the musicians, they all do one thing. They stop and they talk to that guy. You know, they go up and they say, hey, can I get this? Or, hey, can I get away with this? Hey, if I get in trouble for this, will you help me get out of it? And they realize that guy has a little bit of power, a little bit of know-how, and probably a little bit of money. So groupies have changed a little bit. I'm a busy man. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm not as busy as Johnny Impact. So let me tell you about Johnny Impact. All right. I used to feel that the hardest rock and roller in Sepsiss was Cam.
That's a good argument.
And
Yeah.
I felt that way. I felt that way because, you know, I went on tour with you guys.
It's always the quiet ones too.
But
Like,
we ended up at the beach, and this is one of my favorite stories. We ended up at the beach on a 90-degree day, and Cam comes out of his hotel room to meet me because we're gonna hit the beach, and we were both single, so we were gonna hit the beach. You know what I mean? Rock star guitarist and his manager. We're gonna hit the beach. I'm in normal clothes. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Cam comes out shirtless, with flip-flops, and bright red leather pants. It was 90 degrees, and we were going to the beach.
you got to realize that's him authentically.
You know, I go.
That's not for
I go.
show.
I go, kid. What are you doing? He was like, what? I'm like, dude, you're wearing leather pants. And he was like, JP, it's rock and roll, dude. And I was like, okay, let's hit the liquor store and then go to the beach. But no, now I can't really think that Cam's the hardest dude in the group.
But
You
this
know-
is
you
why.
wanna know why?
Why?
Because when I was going to an after party the other night, and I'm unlike Johnny Impact, I'm not going to mention any names. But when I was going to an after party the other night, probably the best after party that we've had all year.
Yeah.
For anyone that didn't
Wow.
make
That was
it
dope.
to the La Quinta Inn in Warwick, Rhode Island, you should kick yourself firmly in the buttocks.
Yeah, and we're gonna start having these private hotel after
my
parties.
God,
So
what a
like the
party.
people that are hitting our shows, you got to start getting with us for these private after party things.
Yeah, we had
We're having
a
a lot
bunch
of
of
fun with it.
really cool people
So
show up to hang and party with us. They were like in awe that they were invited, and dude, we're just regular people, man. We just want to have a good time. But one of our rock stars did not make it to the party, folks. And I wasn't really sure why until I went to park my car, and I saw a certain rock star coming out from behind a dumpster with a very scantily clad young lady. I mean, she was legal.
Was it one of our rock stars?
I'm not going to mention the lady, but I do know a certain bass player that has an impact on everything he touches.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, Johnny, we were in a hotel with like 19 rooms rented. What the hell were you doing behind the dumpster? It's rock and roll, dude.
This is why we have this. This is why Lexi said today. She's like, before we have the program, I think we should talk about a disclaimer again. Well, and I said, she goes, well, I said, why is that? And she goes, well, JP and Johnny Impact are on the fucking show now.
That's right. That's right.
So this is the part of the show where I'm supposed to say, not all of the opinions expressed during this live cast is my girlfriend's opinion.
No, Melissa does not approve of sex behind a dumpster.
Right.
I'm going
And
to say that right now.
neither does Mr. Goodbars.
No, Timmy is a solid
So this
man.
is the band page,
No, I
and
do
they
not.
allowed
I don't
us to
approve
use
of
it
that.
for this
I don't approve of that
crazy
at all.
thing. I think he said something back there.
I don't approve of that at all.
No. It's not, you
The
know.
voice in the heavens.
Yeah. I love it when he does
What was
that.
that?
Yeah.
The wizard.
I love that. I wish I could have that like
The
in my
wonderful
house when
Wizard of
I say
Bars.
something like,
I told him he needs
What's
to
the
come
weather
out
like
with an
today?
EP
Oh, that's
called
what I
The
wanna
Yellow
do.
Brick Road
I want to get Alexa to
be
change her
sick.
voice to Good Bars.
or Lexi. That might drive you crazy.
Don't do it.
Here's an announcement.
Don't do it.
We haven't
Don't
done
you
that
do
in
it.
so long. I missed
Don't
you.
worry, we'll
Don't-
do it
don't
the
you
next
do
time
it.
we have an announcement. So, but that's the disclaimer. The disclaimer is shit that Johnny does or says on here doesn't necessarily mean it's what the whole band thinks.
Yeah. Also, I am just a consulting manager, so I don't have the power to say anything.
There's
that
a lot of
reflects on
people in
sepsis.
sepsis, and if one of us says something stupid, it tends to, it's all of us.
No,
I'm
that-
usually the one saying stupid shit.
So we're going to talk about people saying stupid shit later in one of the other segments.
I think it's important.
But let's start with our intro. Don't we have sponsors?
We do, and we have a whole list. But today, specifically for today, Eargasm's been really kicking ass for us, and you guys have been really helping the band out. With the touring and everything being really tough this year, with the sponsors that pay us directly, it's okay, Lexi. You can pop them balloons over there. Normally there's prizes in them.
All right.
But again, our friends, if you guys are coming out, we only have a couple of shows left. We'll get to that later. But if you guys are coming out to the shows and you want to save your hearing, you want to save your eardrums, a great way to do that, and double dip, double down, and help out the band instantly, automatically. Pick up a pair of the earplugs from Eargasm.
What's the code, Will?
The code is one word, all caps, Sepsis Band. It really helps out when we need to. So we were at a travel station and Johnny didn't have a pillow. So we dipped into our Eargasm fund and we were able to get Johnny warm coffee and a pillow.
Eargasm is the best earplugs on the market for music fans and musicians alike. And the code word for your discount is SEPSISSBAND.
And our
One word,
fans,
all caps.
our fans love them too. If you're a fan and you've been to one of our shows recently and you've used these earplugs, please put a 1 in the chat so people don't think I'm bullshitting. These things
Oh.
really work. They don't ruin the
I hope
performance.
people are on and typing in the 1 because I've had a dozen people tell me in the last
My
week.
landlord bought a pair.
There you go.
I don't know why,
He's
but
your landlord, of course.
but I
he
say
bought a pair.
I come out and I was paying rent, and I said, man, you know how I'm paying rent? And he said, why is that? I said, these fucking eargasms. He said, what the fuck is an eargasm? He thought I was saying something nasty. I said, nah, man. I said, listen to me, man. I said, you know how I do the touring? I do the rock and roll shit. He loves it. He's coming to Swarmy Fest.
Oh, excellent. I like
How
it.
many fucking rock and roll band dudes do you know that go out there and con their landlord? I said, I'm not paying rent
I don't know.
until you come to the Swarmy Fest. No, I didn't say that. No. He honestly, he had it in his calendar. We're actually really good friends, and I always pay rent on time.
Yeah.
I
That's
just do.
excellent.
It's just my thing.
That's the right thing to do.
And so I did that, and I said, man, you know, if you're still planning to come to Swarmy Fest, I think you should grab a table. By the way, tables are running out.
Actually, tables sold out, and then
We recovered a few more.
recovered. Let me, folks. I got to tell you something. We had this conversation because I'm old, and I was telling Will that I'm old, and I like to keep
He's
like
not
a
old
seat
like that.
or a stool or something by my merch table when I'm running merch.
I'm gonna get you a pillow like Johnny.
Right. And Will was like, you know, a lot of our fans like to be comfortable. So Will went to the promoter and requested, I didn't say demanded, requested more tables. So there are more tables now available.
There are. So they're definitely, and we'll pull them right up stage side if you guys want to hang out with us.
I
So
didn't know that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
they were
so
gone,
cool.
and now they're
Yep.
back.
Yeah, they're back.
So you better
there's a
grab
few,
'em
there's a
quick.
few. There's a few, yeah.
There's a few, and I really
Each
recommend.
table comes with 4 tickets.
Yep. So
And, yeah.
and you don't. I mean, this isn't the kind of show where you want to come for one band, because you're gonna miss out. You're gonna want to come in the beginning,
This is a solid show.
and you're gonna want to come for the whole gig.
Yeah.
It's more than just a show. It's a fucking community event. I mean, we're gonna shut Manchester. We're
It's
gonna break
a
Manchester in
party.
half. Yeah, and then of course, you know, if you're really slick and you get with me and JP, you can get the deets to the after party, the hotel after party, and we're shooting a music video. We're shooting a hip hop music video for a Mr. Goodbar's song.
Ooh.
So if you guys want to be in the hip hop video,
You know I'm going to be in that
you
video.
can come to the secret hotel after party after Stormy Fest and cameo in the video. He's letting everybody get in it.
Yeah, slide
I'm
on
pretty
through,
sure
slide
we
on through.
posted some pictures, right?
We gotta do more of that, because we're never on the internet ever.
No, but we posted.
I said that in
didn't-
Chicago, and everybody laughed at me. They really did. I said, because you guys have never heard of us on the internet. We're never on the internet. And the whole fucking room started
The
laughing.
whole
That's how
venue.
cliche this shit was.
The whole venue.
It's just good that we know and you know, and we all know together.
So yeah, you did post a couple pictures, but we didn't go overboard because, well, it's an after party, and people don't want to be put out there. You want to have fun and not worry about.
No,
who's
when you
watching.
come to a private party, with the exception of Johnny, if you come to a private party,
Yes.
we won't air your dirty laundry.
No, we will not. We won't say a word, and we won't tell John
fact-
your name, so
right,
he
we
won't
had-
say a word.
Right, we don't
Johnny.
even know who you are.
Yes.
Shout out to the 15 people in the chat. So, and definitely, if you pick up a pair of Eargasm, tell them who sent you. It's all caps. Sepsis Band, one word, 2 S's.
Well, yeah.
So I got the first topic for today. We always talk about it. It always gets us in trouble on the Sepsiss page. It's the number one shit-starting topic known to man on the internet for rock and roll.
Shoot, Will.
Payola and pay-to-play.
Yes.
Bands that pay to have their music presented, played, performed. So the first thing before anything, I just want to talk about definitions, and I don't want to get too crazy about English language, but I want to know how you guys feel, because you're a promoter and you've had a lot of experience in education and a couple different generations. Mm-hmm. And there are some of us who might be a little more narrow-minded than others, not because, maybe because we just have not had the time to review all of our experiences. Technology has played a big part in the way that we eat, fuck, dance, fight, argue,
Yes.
debate,
Yes.
discover,
Yep.
whatever. Okay? And where this is not like a political or social conversation, we do know that things are bought and sold on these parameters today.
It is a business.
Let's do it. And boy, do we have something covered for that. But for me, I just wanted to say the definition of pay to play means anytime an artist pays a third party to present or perform original material. Does anybody have anything to add to that definition?
No.
Because there's different types. Like there's
payola.
Radio. There's like
Payola
there's,
used to mean radio.
okay,
Mean,
so
yeah.
and with that, because we have to do it according to Lexi before we really uncover. But I just wanted to see what you guys is on the surface felt about it, and the definitions, and what you guys thought the definition was. Because for me, this includes payola, pay to play.
Yep.
It also includes Spotify playlists.
So the world has changed quite a bit. Back in the day, it was just average radio stations and DJs that were kind of going rogue on their own, and people would pay people and offer favors or what have you to get what they needed to get. And I didn't agree with it then, but I do understand it. Everyone, we're a lazy creature. Human beings are lazy, and anytime you can find a shortcut to get ahead, I see people trying to do that. I don't agree with it, but it happens. And I gotta at least give the bands credit that do it for hustling. I mean, they're trying, right? They believe in their music if they're gonna try to make it happen, right? So, I mean, I don't like it.
We can talk about the good parts and the bad parts of it, and I want and that there's a whole bunch to unpack there regarding that. But payola at that time was a legal issue because of
Right.
bribery.
Correct.
So I just want to,
It
for
still,
those who
it still
don't
should
know,
be, but it's called business now.
I know, but for the people at home who are unfamiliar of that version of payola, I
Yeah.
wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, it was
That
against the law.
The reason that it became a legal issue is because of stations, A&R people,
Yeah.
accepting bribes.
Yeah.
And the problem with bribes are, when you're accepting bribes, the people who aren't qualified can go through the checkpoint, while there's several people who may be qualified that don't. It's like having an AA meeting filled with a bunch of people
Right.
who are pretending to be sober while sick people are outside.
There's no truth in advertising when they do it. They promote something that they say is, oh, this is the best newest thing, and these guys are great.
Right.
And it's really because they gave them $500. But
I want to make a few statements on behalf of the band.
okay.
We have paid to play.
Most of the bands I know have.
So before I even, because for me to be able to talk about this,
Yep.
because I think we make posts a lot, and people are like, those fucking assholes. Those guys are magicians showing everybody how to pull the rabbit out of the hat. These guys are they're gonna blow the whistle. Everyone's gonna get caught. We all got our hands in the fucking cookie jar.
Yeah.
Sepsiss, you motherfuckers. You guys have 43,000 people, and you guys are going to fucking tell everybody what's going on. Yes. We are because through this discovery, there's forms of investment for sure, and bands have to, just like all small businesses, make investments. We have to go up to Staples, we have to run commercials, we have to get ink. Pretty soon we're going to be doing unplug everything, go back to acoustic guitars and doing Mongolian fucking throat singing.
Could happen.
Yeah, I mean, so technology and everything is affected. Everything that exists affects fucking existence.
Yeah.
I before we get into the clear definitions of it, I want to say that we've done it. And if I had a billion, trillion, billion fucking dollars, I might continue to. But I'm going to also admit that I do believe that is certainly unfair. And I believe and this is tough because most people aren't willing to. When you ask people, would you want to do what's right or do you want to rule? Most people are going to lie to you and say to you, I'm going to do what's right. But if you have a small business and you're trying to compete in small business,
It's tough.
Sometimes you need to motherfucking rule.
Yeah, it's tough.
And this is an aggressive business. I'm not talking about an industry, just as a business. What I spend in postage with some like a band. You look at Sepsiss as a small band, and it certainly is. But as small as we are, dude, we don't got nobody that does postage for us.
Right.
So most of our time that we spend more time on postage than we would ever spend on choreography. We spend more money on stamps than we would ever Spotify playlists. You know what I mean? Just to give you an example.
No, I get it.
We all pay something.
But then there's also the the pay to play as far as like promoters that require ticket sales from a band.
See, and we're getting into an investment, and then when does investment become like abusive? And when
Right.
because you said something earlier, and you said something about we were talking about the law and payola at that time being subject to law because of bribery. And bribery's never been fucking cool because it's a form of stealing.
Yeah.
And stealing's never been cool,
No.
but it's still a law. And if you and you know what I'm saying, and it's still a practice that your neighborhood goes by. Knock on your neighbor's door right now if you want to get fresh. Go knock on your neighbor's door and see how he feels about you stealing.
Don't knock on your neighbor's
Don't
door.
do
He's
it.
not gonna like it.
Don't do it. This is rhetorical. Don't do that. I shouldn't tell people that. This is the disclaimer part. But the point I'm trying to make is stealing is super popular, but it's still unwelcome. I mean, rape is popular, beating people up's popular, racism's popular, all types of bad shit is popular. The difference is when you beat people up and rape people and steal, the neighborhood's ready to punish motherfuckers.
Right.
But when you're a musician, nobody gives a fuck. It's normal. You're supposed to invest yourself. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, but if it's an illegal issue of bribery and you're a musician standing up for yourself, you need to get a real fucking job.
Right.
You need to grow up and be somebody and all this other shit.
Well, before we talk about the other side of the spectrum, let's do according to Lexi.
Let's go.
According to Lexi, folks.
Get some smoke for Lex. She deserves it.
Thank you. So for this, according to Lexi, I do have to ask, should I go over all 13 that's listed here or just payola for this portion?
It's 7:33. Let's go.
All of them?
All 13? I think we're going to have to talk on each one of the 13. Though,
Yeah.
right?
Well, maybe give us a breath. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's go with payola.
So the first one listed, like you said, is payola.
I'll be looking at the
Payola
chat too, guys.
is the granddaddy of all music business scams. Payola is bribery, like they said, pay for play, the music business equivalent of dark money. First, it was song pluggers influencing jazz-era band leaders. Then it was so-called indie promoters acting as record company bagmen. Payola was made illegal after a scandal in the late 1950s when DJs took bribes in return for radio airplay. It reared its ugly head again in the early 2000s and continues today. Its cancer now spreading to services charging for placements on streaming service platforms.
I want to, just for the sake of the chat in here, because I feel like it adds to the conversation.
It does.
Dave says, fuck pay to play. And then, which is nice, and I'm not disagreeing with that. Pay to play promoters are carnies.
Oh, okay.
I just want we can respond to it. We can respond to it. And John said, what about the bands that are discovered through pay to play, and then wouldn't have otherwise? In today's world, I don't think that's as a powerful statement. In today's world, because of social media, we're a very good example of that.
Yeah.
So we have paid to play, and I can tell you right now, anytime that we've paid to play, it hasn't strengthened our bonds with people that love and respect us as musicians.
Right.
That's my experience.
Right.
We have paid to play,
Yeah.
and the reason why we do not is because we have found other authentic avenues that have strengthened the trust and growth and built our relationship with people professionally.
Yep.
And grown our fan base. When we stop giving other people our money and learn how to spend our money and budget our money as a small business, we learned that we didn't need to give people money. We don't need to give. And here's the other thing, JP. We've played shows and we've paid to play shows in front of 1,000 people before. Okay?
Yep.
And we never left with more fans. Okay, we've paid to play at snack time. We played in front of, 3 doors down from a puddle of fucking Nickel Creed. Okay, we've played in front of all type of people.
That's the problem with with a lot of the pay to play is the
Nobody
early
made
slots.
And
I
we
mean,
didn't
that's not the
sell
only
more.
problem,
We
but
didn't.
that's a problem.
We didn't. We're not a big selling band. We're not trying to get rich. That's not like a goal for us.
Right.
Our goal is to discover our fans, and we realized that, like, even with the big stuff like Blue Ridge and Metal in the Mountains, and even some of the we've played the big Kahunas and the big Static X festivals and the marijuana festivals and the tattoo festivals, and we played a lot of that stuff, and there were thousands of people there. We didn't leave there with more Facebook follows.
Right.
And I'm not, I'm not saying that's a killer for me, but this is just my experience that for our band, being a really unique and original band, it's better for us to play in front of 150 people that know who we are than it is for a band like us, like Sepsiss, to go in front of 36,000 people who are there to see Lacuna Coil. That's been my experience.
I understand that.
And I realize there are other bands that'll kick our ass and they could do all type of cool moves and they're way better than us. And for them, that works. And for the millionaires, that works. I just said for us, when we learned to cater to our fans and pay attention more to like what we were doing and budget ourselves rather than trying to piggyback off of other artists or other fan base. We weren't leaving these shows playing for Puddle of Mud and Puddle of Mud fans loving us.
Right.
Nothing against them. I
mean,
love them.
Sometimes
boys.
it happens, but not,
Sometimes,
it's
and
not a
there are
majority.
those rare. There
Yeah.
are those rare, circumstances where people are discovered that way. But for us, we've been more successful playing in front of 100 people that know us than playing in front of 2,000 people who aren't into metal.
I get that, but
You know?
before I get onto the other side of the coin,
Yes.
Johnny,
Fair enough.
would you like to add anything?
It's definitely a double-edged sword, because there are times where, yeah, if you're working to build something, obviously that costs money. So you want to, and that's working with.
I'm going to say something really smart here, and people that are in the industry may or may not like it, but a lot of bands don't get paid in this business,
Oh, a ton of bands don't get paid in this business.
and we do.
No, yeah, that's true.
So I mean, and a lot of bands have struggle with growing their fan base,
Yeah,
and we don't.
yeah.
A lot of bands don't have big teams and promoters and friends and venues and people pushing them. And we've also been a band for 12 years, may I add. So a lot of bands don't have the consistency and the longevity and the stamina. Right. And we do. Right. We have the time, and we've kind of engineered our lives throughout the years in order to do this kind of stuff. And the big thing is we headline 98% of the shows that we play. So for us to join these other. That's why I said only in our experience can I say this, because we don't have any money.
Right.
Okay, because rock and roll don't make no fucking money. That's why.
Right. Yeah.
And if you don't know that, then you're not in rock and roll yet.
Yeah. You're not. You guys aren't in rock and roll because you're trying to be rich.
No, we do this shit because we love doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why that's why we fearlessly have fun and compete.
Well, that's why we're friends, though.
100%, brother.
You know what I mean?
I just, for me, when I speak in terms of our experience, we would have to downgrade ourselves to go and play in front of 16,000 people who didn't give a shit.
I 100% agree.
When
with
there's
that.
250 people waiting in the club right now with our shirts on.
Yeah. So
That's who I fuck with.
Yeah.
Those are the families and those are the people, and those are the boys and girls we party with. I don't know what Gojira's doing. That good for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Lizzie Hale, good for her. I'm sure they love her. But that's we're working on us, and I think there's already a lot of bands that are chasing around. There's a never-ending, unlimited supply of super talented, really well-off people who can pay to get on shows and chase around acts that aren't as good as them. That ain't me. I'm not gonna pay another band that can play just as good as guitar as I do, and chasing them around the fucking countryside, pretending like this is 1977. Celebrities are dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Sepsiss. I don't want to stand. We don't want to stand above our fans. We want to stand with them.
that's why we had that after party.
But that's
That's us. But that's
That's
no
tenor.
knock. That's not saying let's get rid of what people are doing. I said it in the beginning of it. I said if I had $1 billion, I'd buy on the fucking, to the next biggest thing.
Yeah.
That'd be great for me, and it would be shitty for you. So for bands that can buy. That's what people do.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was
wanna
getting at. That's why I want.
If you can buy a $2,000 guitar player, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell another man what to do with his money
I get it.
and his dream. Because every band has different needs.
I get it.
So that's what I wanted to specifically say that I can't speak for anybody else because every act, especially in terms of genres, we're speaking right now how underground rock and metal work.
Yeah.
And we're speaking from a small band, neighborhood band. I mean, let's face it. Amy Lee and Lizzie Hale don't got to put in the same kind of Twitch work that Melissa does. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't got to come on and do live streams with you. They don't give a fuck.
No. Is that where you were going, Johnny?
Yeah, where were you going?
Yeah,
Sorry. But
where we go, 10 or 10,000, they're still ours.
I want to meet every one of my fans. I want to know every one of you. I want to be in your face. I want you to know me. I want you to know our authenticity. I want you to see what kind of work we put into our sets.
Johnny, I'm going to apologize up front for this. Johnny Impact wants to meet all of his fans too.
Yo, Bob,
gentlemen,
what's
do
up?
not leave
Bob,
your wives alone with Johnny Impact.
No, ask Bob. Bob's in the chat right now. When I turned the corner, Bob was one of the first people in Chicago. In there.
Hi, Bob.
I've never met Bob in my life. You know what I'm saying? Bob's a super supporter, man, on the internet. I seen this guy. He said, man, you're going to know me when you see me in Chicago. He said, I'm one of the biggest motherfuckers there. Now, when you hear that as a public figure sometimes, you don't know what to think.
Right.
He said, I'm one of the biggest. He said, you're not going to miss me.
Okay.
I said, all right, cool, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to see you when I get there. And I turned the corner, and there was this big motherfucker
He's
there.
so tall.
I said, what the fuck?
So
I mean,
tall.
he had I knew it because he had a Sepsiss shirt on.
So you knew it was Bob.
I knew it was Bob.
All right.
And they had like the VIP tables all like looking classy and everything. And he had him in. He was over there, man, with his classy, tall man, the Sepsiss, brand new Sepsiss t-shirt on. And he was the first dude I met there, man. He stood up, man.
He's as tall as the ceiling in here.
I feel like I'm fucking 8, Bob.
I feel like
Bob is also
Yo, he
part of
fucking rocked
ICG.
it, dude.
he's also part
And
of what?
Bob's also
so
part of
and he's like,
ICG.
yeah, and you know how we have so we have the video game company, Immaculate Connection Games,
Yeah.
which is also waspy.
Yeah. So Bob is part of ICG.
So Bob's like, listen, man. So I'm like, man, you really should, because we talk about games. And he's like, I play, these games, and I've talked to the guys in ICG before. You guys really need to step it up. And I'm like, come on, man, you should really join and play with ICG. He said, I am ICG.
Whoa.
I said, oh, I didn't even realize. They said, no, I'm in here. This is my gamer tag. And then I realized what his gamer tag was, and I was like, that's you.
Yep, that was him.
I love meeting fans all over the world, man.
What's his
It's
gamer
amazing.
tag?
So if me and Bob don't play ASAP. So after this, for those of you who don't know, the Honeycomb Hideout is a live cast that happens every other Wednesday. So right now you can go
on Hump Day.
you can hump all the way to every other Wednesday. And right now, circle your calendar for the rest of the year. Every other Wednesday from here, we'll be right here.
The Honeycomb Hideout is bi-weekly. That's right, folks. Twice a month,
Which
is about the average for a married man to get laid.
I was gonna say that's
2
like a
hump
strip
days
club.
a
rule.
month for the Honeycomb Hideout.
Sexy Sylvia.
I don't know. I'm not married. I'm just fucking around. You know
And
what I
I'm
mean?
not married.
I'm single, ladies.
So
Oh.
that sound like what's the name for what's bars? What's that wrestler? Val Venus.
Val
That's how you
Venus,
say.
yeah. Val Venus. He came up with the
I
towel
want to
on.
say hello to Nick. Nick's out there, darkroom photography.
Oh,
met
my
Nick.
God.
You met Nick. That's my
Yeah,
brother.
and honestly, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That was enough. So man, a very recognizable character.
Nick is the dude, man. Nick's my
Between
boy.
him and Video Gothic, they were like the best dressed people there.
Oh, yeah.
So it was easy to pull this guy out of a crowd.
I met Nick
this
through
motherfucker
Seven
was
Dust.
ready
He's
to
part of my
go.
Seven Dust family.
He looked like he
and,
was in
he is-
Seven Dust.
he is
He
the
looked
real
like he was
deal.
going to perform.
He is.
I thought he was in a band.
He's a very talented man. Not just photography. He does a lot of stuff. He's really multi-talented. But here's the thing. He says on here that I sound like an infomercial announcer.
Well, you do.
I've been taking classes from Mr. Goodbars. He wants to put me on Fiverr to sell my talents.
We're going to make
You
bread,
get-
John.
I was going to say,
We're
you
gonna,
give
hey,
Mr. Goodbars
I got
something.
you. I
Might
got
come
you,
back
John.
with some Bitcoin or something. All right, Lex, what else we got? This payola stuff.
I can go into another different kind.
Let's hear it.
Like submitting to festivals.
Okay, there's a good thing. So so that's a big thing now is submitting to festivals. And then so people go, is that pay to play? Now this is what I'm saying.
So yes.
If you have a big
Yes.
Blue Ridge style festival, right?
Uh-huh.
And you have 300,000 people on the fucking bill.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep. That's how they pay for the festival. They get 20 times more bands that could possibly be on the festival, and they get them all to give them like $50, $75, $100 to submit.
Hold on, let me get
for
the
an
let me get the
opportunity
calculator.
to be on the festival, and they know that 90% of these bands are not going to be on the festival. They just
If
keep
I
the
have a
money.
gig with
a money
300
grab.
bands on it,
Cash
right?
grab.
And 100 of these fucking bands are A-listers, how am I going to pay these cats?
Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of little local bands to foolishly think they have a shot, and you're going to take their money. And that's something that the fans aren't really aware of. They're like, oh, I want to go to this
But not
big
only
festival.
that, it's not only that, you're going to play at snack time at the Magic Hat stage,
Yeah.
dude, in the
Listen,
fucking
I've done
parking
it. I've
lot.
submitted for some bands that I've worked with. I've submitted them because they wanted a shot at the festival, and we took a shot at it. And I looked at it, and I did my research, and it's a scam. It's just a cash grab. That's all
I
it is.
realized it was fucked up when I saw the biggest band. Now I'm going to talk some New England shit, and
Yeah.
I know I can talk my New England shit.
Oh, yeah.
So for the rest of the world, you'll be saved for what I'm about to say. But in New England, because it's observable and we're doing it all the time, I stopped paying to play in New England when I realized that along with Sepsis, there was about 50, maybe more. There probably 50 high quality working professional top bands in this area.
Yep.
It just dawned on me. I said, if these bands started playing without these crooked promoters, I mean, if bands just worked together, 3 to 4 to 5 of them, we wouldn't need to give anybody any money.
So that being said, though, the whole promoter thing, that's different than the festival thing. That's a whole different level of chicanery. You know what I mean? So like,
agree.
So
I agree.
Like, someone made a comment earlier, promoters, carnies, whatever. I'm not gonna pick on carnies either. You know what I mean? But everybody has their place in the world. But a lot of the promoters that I've met,
Right, and bands that charge their fans tickets aren't
right?
villains either. I mean,
No,
not
no.
that
So a
if
lot
we
of
don't
the-
give you, I've heard if we don't give people free T-shirts, we're an ass.
I've been
That's
had
happened
my arms
before.
twisted for that too. But
That's
a lot of the
happened.
promoters that I've met, people that I've run into, that I've dealt with, that do the hey, you can be on this bill for 20 tickets or what have you. Listen, to bring in a national act, you have to sign a contract and make a commitment that you're going to pay them.
Right.
And if you're an independent promoter, which I am, and I've done several times, I just did for that last show we did. You have to make a deal and you have to stick to your word. And
Can I say something?
yeah.
I've never This is weird because you're my friend, so this is gonna be like weird to me say like publicly like this. You've never charged me any ticket sales. I don't know if you don't want me to say that or not.
No. So I'm against that whole thing, and
I've never asked
That's
you.
where I was going with. So a lot of these promoters that do it, and some of them that I know, some of them that I've butted heads with over the years, they're all learning. Since we started the Hard Rock Heavy Metal Reset, I've seen people that I didn't think would ever change.
I know, me too. Me too.
And I'm a forgive and forget kind of guy. Yeah.
No,
I don't hold a grudge.
No, people.
Wow.
No. What's the sense of
I
holding a
didn't know
grudge if you're gonna?
that.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we talking about. If you're
I've
gonna do
seen
what's
people
right, or you
change,
trying to
and
rule?
change for the better. And in all honesty, like some of these guys that I would get mad at for different things, they weren't doing it to be evil. They didn't have the money to back up the show.
And they were taught, and they were also taught
They
that
were taught they could do
they
that.
were taught that, like, well, that's what I said earlier when I said, if you want to be a fucking chimney sweep, everybody clap their hands for you. If you want to be Bob the Builder, if you want to be Father Flanagan, if you want to pray to, gods and demons, and you want to speak on invisible characters, people will, they will applaud you. But as soon as you want to play some music and express yourself, you need to get a job or something. You know what I mean? You're allowed to dream until you hit puberty. And music is one of the jobs. You wouldn't expect a prostitute to give you free sex. But music, people think that music's free. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got done saying about pay to play. Pay to play is an investment that a musician is willing to make to get his music heard. And then in the same breath, we say to guys that this is not a professional job.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. You
So-
started talking about free sex, and I didn't know what was going on.
But that definitely, like, there's something to be said about that though. Like, where music is in high demand, but it's freer than it ever has been. And consumers think that it should be free. Musicians don't think that music should be free because music's in high demand. If you remove music from movies, it'd be boring. If you remove music from the club, it'd be boring. If you remove music from commercials, it'd be, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have much to sell. So you got music when you get in the shower. You wake up with music on your watch. You wake up with music, and then nobody wants.
I know everything.
Nobody wants to accept the value that it's in high demand. So is music in high demand, or are they taught that they don't have to pay for it? Because we just got done saying how payola, was bribery, and bribery is a law, and stealing is a law.
Yeah.
And if you ask your neighbors about stealing and rape, they'll tell you stealing and rape is wrong.
Everybody likes free shit, man.
Including rape and stealing.
I mean, listen, let's go all the way back to Napster, right? I mean, come on,
Which is now one of the higher paying streaming organizations out there. Napster pays.
everyone hated on Lars for that. Lars was a bad guy because he wanted to get
And
paid
now
for
they're
his
the
art.
most streamed rock and roll band on planet Earth.
From Dark Room Photography, he says in regards to festivals is also pay to play as a photographer.
Yep.
You pay
Wow,
50.
hold the fuck on.
Yep.
There's pay to play for
I'm
photography.
shocked. Hold on, I gotta blow the smoke.
Yeah.
He
They
said
want you
you.
to build the game. That's the sell. Well, you're gonna take photos at our festival. People are gonna know it. It's gonna build. Your
I have
name.
Exactly.
never heard of such
Yeah.
a thing. So
Neither
are you
have I.
telling me right now? I didn't even know this.
That's not even in the article or
Right.
any article. I've
Who
ever read
else
about
is
this.
paying people to? Who else is paying to go to these fucking places?
50
and
to
why don't we just
$100.
stop paying? And why don't we just go get a building of ourselves?
Well, it just messes
Do
me
it.
up, right? Because I see all these, and I'm not bagging on any one festival, but I see all these complaints from people. I went there and it was a bad experience because they didn't have buses to get from here to there. There wasn't enough porta potties. There wasn't this. There wasn't that. Why are people still going to these festivals?
And why? Well, here's another thing. How come bands are going? If you, I don't,
Because,
I will
because
not
they
play.
don't think they can fix the
I'm
machine.
gonna tell you something like that, and I'm gonna sound like a real snob. Sepsiss don't play in the fucking parking lot, and we don't play for free. Now, there are a handful of affordable options that we could take because, as you know, most of the people that have worked for me know we do not break even, we do not make no money, and most of what we receive for payment for playing a show is for gas. And the promoters that we work with bust their ass and rock with us. Shout out to all the promoters that fuck with us. They're a
Thank
very
you.
rare, small handful of people that have ever gotten stupid with me. And the people that have ripped us off or gotten stupid with me, it's a simple solution. We just never play with you again. We never pick up the phone. We just ignore you completely. So that's the punishment of jumping off on Sepsiss on a bill, and you know who you are. So you know for sure we will not be in contact with you ever again to play any type of show. And that's the punishment of ripping off Sepsiss, is we don't play with you. We ignore you, and we shut off our market, and we shut off our networks, and we tell everybody else about what the fuck you're doing. So play your cards right. You know what I mean? Everybody that we rock with is upfront. Everybody that does business with Sepsiss has been awesome in the last 2 years, and that's why we keep doing the shows. That's why we keep putting the shows together the way that we have been, and everybody's been, moving forward and sharing growth and sharing the motivation and sharing goals together. But we don't play in the parking lot, and there are a handful of shows that are for free or we'll come up with affordable options just so we can get there. We don't mind living off the merch table and busting our ass and working. Most people that have worked with us, they'll tell you that Sepsiss is a very hard-working, physical, on-the-job, on-the-site, self-promoting.
It's not easy.
Machine.
You gotta have heart. You gotta put it in.
We do. We don't have side jobs. A lot of bands have side jobs. We don't. So we put all of it into this. Some bands make some investment. We do all. So that's why we stopped investing in others. And started paying attention and prioritizing our fans. And those shows that we do play that are really affordable or for free, the shows that we do play for free, as you know, there are a handful that we play each year, every year, and we agree to those because they fit a charity or they fit a benefit or they fit a community standard that we feel that we can add value to, man. So that's why we continue to play free shows. But we don't collect free shows. We play free shows when we can add value to other people.
Nice. I agree with all that. What is the next on the list, Lexi?
So our submission fee, our festival submission fees, payola.
It's a form of payola, yes.
It's bribery.
It's bribery, but it's not even good bribery. At least when you go to a local promoter that might do like ticket sales, and you have to.
What about?
At least you know you get. What
about? What about these new shows that they have now, where all the artists,
actually hold on. I'm going to back up on that. It's not payola because if you go to the sleazy carny whatever promoter and he makes you sell 25 tickets to be on the show, you know you're on the show.
Well, that's if you sell all the 25 tickets. If you don't sell all of them, sometimes
usually,
you can't play.
Well, that's the point. You have to pay for them up front and then sell them. Try to make your money back. That's you're gonna have to get. That just sucks, but it is what it is. But
I've seen people try to do that. It never works out for anybody.
No, because you show up,
everybody
there thinking
gets
you're gonna
pissed.
play, and you don't have the money. You're in trouble. So,
yeah, I've seen that happen too.
That gets ugly.
When we first started out, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. I've seen that happen too. But with a festival, you don't. That isn't it at all.
I talk about pay to play.
Fee. They take that fee and then they don't promise you nothing.
I talk about pay to play because I think I know what it is, because I think I've done it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know I've done it. I know that,
there's different versions of it. But
and I think that we've bitten into many versions of it, and I feel I can talk about it because I know both sides of the blade. I know that it's victimizing other people who are more qualified for the job, because rich people play shows, dude.
Right.
I'm telling you, because we're one of them.
Yeah.
And when I say rich, I don't mean, millions. I'm saying we can afford the gas money to get there.
Right.
That's who plays shows, dude. The people that can afford submission fees play shows.
There's a ton of talented bands that stay in the basement.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to put it to you this way, and it's going to blow everybody's mind. Sepsiss did not win multiple awards because we play guitar better than people. It's because we'll kick your fucking ass on the internet.
That's okay. I mean,
I'm not digging on my bandies.
Like it or not, life is a popularity contest.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not getting on my bandies.
Yeah.
You guys bust your ass. You guys are hard workers, and you guys sound great. When you guys practice and you guys do your thing.
We're just giving away a secret. That's all.
But I'm telling you that we go into these award things and we head in there with a mindset and we rally our troops and we rally our fans. And we get people involved, and we get people. That's how we win those awards, and it's also having good social media and it's having some clean videos and making a couple good songs. I think that matters, and having a bass and looking good, I think matters. But I'm willing to bet we won the New England Music Awards in 2019.
Yep.
Because we signed a deal with Sony. We got a lot of fans, right? And I think we won again last year because we put out more material. We had a bigger fan base. But the thing is, we energized that fan base for that fight.
I was there too. Yeah.
We energized, and our fans are ready to fight for it.
Guess what?
Yes.
When you play the New England Music Awards on November 13th in Foxborough, Massachusetts, I'll be there.
You're gonna.
Yeah.
Really?
Hamilton's going to be there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of pumped up about that.
Oh my god.
I'll be there.
So if you guys didn't know, we will be playing the New England Music Awards.
Yes.
So they can't even have a New England Music Awards without Sepsiss at this point.
And they did not pay to play.
So we did not pay to play
no.
this. So shout out to the New England Music Awards for
Right?
pay to play. Fucking A.
New England Music Awards.
Okay.
6-String Grill, Foxborough, Massachusetts, November 13th. Get your tickets.
Musicians have been taught, okay? The reason why I think I can talk about the payola thing is because in the beginning, me and Melissa were taught, like a lot of musicians, to be paid with opportunity. Just like people get paid with views or follows. But you see people get paid with follows. You have 250 Spotify followers, and you won't get fucking 12 happy birthdays. There's a thing going on there.
I've seen
I
that.
was just about to mention that.
I'm telling you,
I've seen that.
so pay to play nothing. Because you pay to play in front of 36,000 people, or you pay to play on Spotify, and now you got to go look on Sepsiss Spotify, and go look at all the relevant artists. There are artists that are relevant to us. If they were relevant, we would share the same fan base, JP.
I know.
Okay? So if these artists are relevant, okay, if you go look, there'll be 20, female-fronted bands that Spotify thinks are relevant to Sepsiss. Go look. I didn't do it. If you're mad about it, take it up with Spotify. Spotify makes these lists. These are catalogs, search queries. I don't make this shit up.
Here's the thing, though.
What?
People don't understand. Like, we'll talk all day long. When a band does something wrong, and I flip out on them because I'm like, this is a business.
Yeah.
Fans don't necessarily understand that. I'm not picking on them. They just don't understand it. So what they see is whatever that media source is.
Right.
Prepackaged some nonsense that they're trying to sell, and
Understood.
they put it in their face. Here you go. This is what it is. It might not be what they say it is, but that's what they're trying to sell.
I understand that.
And
I understand that. And I understand that. I feel like we've paid to play, and I want to be able to tell people outright that I believe that we have, and I don't think it's ever fucking strengthened our musical skill. I don't think it's made us better on stage. I don't think it's bagged us any better gigs. It's not gotten us more followers or plays. And here's the other thing.
It does add to the resume. Only because
but you
you're
can
playing with
put,
so-and-so.
but that resume. If I'm a talent buyer and I go, hey man, I'm gonna go look up this guy's Spotify.
Right.
Okay, and I go, holy shit, 250,000 monthly listeners. Some of the relevant artists to Sepsiss have 250,000 monthly listeners. There's only one problem with that. They're relevant, says Spotify, to us. If they were relevant, we would have the same partial fucking fan base, dude.
Right.
So I can't have 500 monthly listeners and then be relevant to somebody that has 1 million monthly listeners, and you know who you are.
Correct.
But if you have 250,000 monthly listeners, and I'm a talent buyer, I'm like, ooh, look at this guy. He's got all kinds of plays on Spotify, right? Then I slide over into your social media, and the last bar you played at, I scroll down 3 times. I go look at the show.
There's 4 people.
There's 4 people at the bar. It's your fucking mom.
Yeah.
Don't bullshit with me.
There's 4 people at the stage.
That's just something that Dunn wouldn't do.
Dunn would definitely not
We
do
wouldn't
that.
do it.
Somebody clip that.
Somebody clip that on Twitch.
Clip it.
It's just something we wouldn't do.
No.
So there's consequences to playing in the parking lot and shooting your social media like you got 30,000 people there.
Yeah.
Because you're giving out an image. You're saying you're giving out, you're advertising that these people showed up for you.
Right.
So you can use that as a resume. You can put it on your website. You can angle the camera. You could do what you need to do. But the difference is with the shows that we play, as you all know, which is why I don't need to measure this metric anymore. We headline 98% of the shows that we play. So we don't ever have to be fooled to who they came to see.
Real shit.
What is the next topic?
The next topic, like for payola?
Yes.
Okay.
The next number on the list.
That is a deep one. I don't even know if we ever got to the bottom of that. That's good.
Well, I was gonna add to that. So
Okay.
I was reading
Hold
an
on,
article about
hold on.
festivals.
According to Lexi.
I was reading an article about festivals and how
Yes.
people get on these festivals. And from this conversation, I'm sorry to put some things together. So there's one thing of payola, and it's called the faker. And it's a fake promoter saying if you buy this package, you'll get fake. You'll get followers, likes, or what have you. And it can even be on Spotify as well. So like.
So you're talking about online?
Online.
So people will contact you online
Yeah.
and say,
So it's a scam.
They contacted me all
it's
the
the
time
rock
on
and
the-
roll starter kit.
It's
Yeah.
a scam.
They
You don't have to leave
actually-
your living room, but I'll help you become
And they've
a
actually
superstar.
like contacted like me,
Wow.
like on my podcast, the Metal Honeys podcast. These
Oh, yeah.
same kind of scammers have also contacted me for like promotional stuff.
Got you.
So when you guys were talking, I was like, so festivals. In order for bands to get on festivals, they look at popularity. Oh, so if you want to get on a big popular festival, these bands have learned, oh, if I do this promotional package, it'll look like I'm more popular, and I can get on the festival, and that can make us look like we're good. So we can get more shows.
So take like Swarmy Fest, like our event, right? Those bands didn't pay.
Fest is
Those
on November 5th
and those
in
bands,
Manchester, New Hampshire. at
those
the Jewel
bands
nightclub.
certainly. We never ever have bands pay to play with us ever. In fact, Day to Attend came here.
Day to Attend came here, played here, and hung out with us
on our network
yeah,
here.
Yeah, they took a night off from work.
There's
to come
not
here.
no. I mean, DW, Loudwire, Blabbermouth, Headbangers Ball, MTV. There's none of those products that you can be on unless you give them some bread up front.
Yes.
With our very small and humble audience of 43,000 people, I did not charge my neighbors to come in my building and play music and share their music with the world. Why? Because I'm trying to show everybody that nobody needs to do that. Nobody needs to do that. So in terms of even programs like this, the reason why I have the performance feature on here is because there are no bands that are willing to let other bands come on their popular network and play. And Sepsiss, me and my girl, we like to do things that other bands just don't do. So we can always count on our competitors because we know that our competitors will never bring other bands on their network to play.
But that's why we have such good friends. There's a group of bands that hang with us, and that's why, though.
And we would never charge.
Yeah, because it's a family thing.
Right.
It's not,
And there are a lot of live stream and Twitch style programs that now they do their festival submissions this way. Instead of formally going to fill something out, you go to the website now and you send them stars or you send them bits, and you have the problem with that is like our program here, it's monetized. People, people have the
absolutely.
So I could at any time say, if you want Day to Attend to play here on the Sepsiss Network, you guys all give us Sepsiss a bunch of bits and coins and pay Sepsiss if you want to hear Edgewise and 16x20 here on our networks. So what they're doing is they're taking their respective Twitch networks. What they're doing is they're taking their live social media and they're actually reselling social media. So social media gives them the tools and the ability to broadcast. And they double down and they go, okay, cool. So since we have this monetized channel, how can we gain more followers? Of course, the more followers you get, the less transparent and the more engagement these networks will open you up to. Because what's the purpose of sites like Twitch and Facebook? Is to keep people on the networks. So these music promoters and entertainers have realized, wow, man, if I could get 300 bands to submit to my festivals and come over on these Twitch networks, on these live streams, I can double down on the monetization of everybody coming and building me subs and building. You're literally building. I mean, these artists, in my opinion, should be building their own Twitches. They should be building their own Facebooks. They should be building their own fan bases. They should be getting bits. They should be getting their own subs and their own monetization networks. You know what I mean? This is the problem with pay to play, is when you don't invest in yourself, you're investing in somebody else. And we've said it before on this program before, big businesses are not in the business of building their future competition.
Right.
Big businesses, big bands are not, if you're touring with another band, good for you. But I'm telling you right now, big bands are not in the business of building little bands.
No, because that's their
Big bands,
competition.
all bands, rock and roll bands are in the business of surviving because it's the post-pandemic. And live entertainment, live music is still a thing that we're all trying to recover from. Still small businesses, mom and pop shops, corner fucking stores, embroidery, textiles, restaurants have closed down. And so if you're in a fucking band and you survive this shit, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's survival of the fittest. So what I'm talking about here, it runs a little deeper. So you see a lot of these people doubling down and saying, this is a network. Twitch you can make for free. You can make a Facebook page for free, but you don't own Facebook. Okay, but I could if I wanted to, I could use my Facebook to double down and chicken hawk smaller artists and lure them in to come in and have their fans tune in on my sites. Pay me stars, pay me bits, pay me subs. And I could say, hey, man, join the concert to come and play on my shows and my festivals. All you got to do is get all your friends and family, and y'all come over and give me bits and build my Twitch for me and build up my websites. Cash in on me, cash in on subs, and you might enter my brackets. And if you get in my brackets, I'm going to open you up. You can play in my festival in the fucking parking lot. Wouldn't that be fun? And just as you're about to go on, you're fucking starving to death, playing fucking snack time. I'm going to fucking have, who knows? Maybe I have fucking Spirit Box, the fucking Gorgira, start ripping it up.
Yeah, on the inside where the people
And
are.
you know who winds up watching your show? All the motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, that got heat stroke, people in crutches, motherfuckers who couldn't make it out of the mosh pit.
Yep.
And then you're there trying to get that perfect angle for social media.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I can't measure my success like that. Not if you're getting paid and headlining shows. Now, if you're not getting, that's like I said, if you're buying on because you got $1 million, fantastic. But if you're getting paid right now for headlining or hosting or throwing your own shows, for God's sakes,
Continue doing that.
continue.
We can talk to a blue in the face. There are 1,000 bands out there that will still
And as they should.
go for it.
And they should.
My question is,
And they should. And they should, because everybody has a different version of success.
I guess.
And some people look up those posters at the wall and go, oh my God, I want to sound just like fucking Hatebreed. I want to sound like Randy. I want to sound like Corey. But Sepsiss wants to sound like Sepsiss, and that's why we don't have to deal with that fucking stress.
Real shit.
I'm telling you can hold the rock and roll fucking package. You're never going to be a fucking rock star until you play it fucking louder in life in the fucking parking lot. Fucking two dudes.
No,
fucking
thank
hate
you.
your guts.
No, thank you.
I can go to a show where I know people there, be 20 motherfuckers there, but they greet me and say, hey, Will, man, we got a hot dog for you outside.
Johnny, do you have anything to add?
my question is, if nationals depend on locals to pack the place because it's their hometown and they grab their fans as well, why do venues and
Why
places-
drink Bud Dry? Listen, dude, magazines, bands don't need fucking magazines. The ink dried up a long time ago, buddy, okay? I'm telling you this. Every magazine you ever know is social media, fucking Meme Mag, Rock and Roll Magazine, Revolver. We've been in those magazines. Fuck them. Any of those magazines are worthless to me because they're all for sale. Anybody with a couple bucks can get in any of those magazines playing the worst goddamn rock and roll you ever heard of. That's why. Because they got to beg social media. They got to beg social media for permission to get attention. But Sepsiss, we don't have to do that bullshit. We can compete right with those organizations and all those big festivals right here, right now. and there's nobody to stop us. So I mean, and that's what we're trying to get across. That is that because, and this is the reason, because rock and roll people, rock and roll bass players like you, brother, you don't need a fucking magazine, okay? You don't need a record label. You don't need a fucking bar. You don't need any, but bars need bands like they need liquor. Bars need, but you in the modern world, we got 43,000 people sitting right here. We don't need to go fucking nowhere. People throwing us stars and all type of shit right now. Fuck, we need to go anywhere for. We're a headlining paid band. It's a fucking fool that's convinced otherwise. Somebody's gonna convince me to give up my paycheck?
And you didn't spend any gas money today.
None. So the purpose of this is a very good example what the purpose of this entire show's about. Proof's in the fucking pudding. We just got back from tour. Everybody sees how we living all the time. It's easy to see. It's observable. This is the fucking part that nobody likes to do, the observable part. Everybody wants to hide behind a rock and roll package. But the thing is like promoters need bands. Managers need bands. But in the modern world, a band has a choice to work with a manager that understands their goals.
That's true.
Hold
up. That brings us to a whole nother side of this that I shouldn't even open this can of worms. But a lot of bands don't understand what their goals are. And that's I've worked with bands that couldn't tell me what they wanted.
Some people don't know what the fuck they want to be when they grow up.
Yeah.
They don't know. And I said it the other day. We were having a long drive, and I put everybody on the spot, you know. And we talked about the A word, attention.
Ooh.
You know, when I asked this is a nasty one, but I asked everybody.
I was gonna pick up the swear word book to see which A word he was talking about.
That would have been a
I was in a room full of entertainers. I'm not going to say who. It was a whole room full. And we were having a conversation about what they want. And how today, like years and years ago, you paid money or an artist invested in PR and publicists and all that. And that was to get attention. Mm-hmm. And I start to talk about everybody and why everybody's on social media now and why you post stuff and why you do just personal stuff. And it was so difficult for the human. Now me, I'm an entertainer. So my whole life I've been after attention. And I've been clear about it.
Oh, me too, man.
So to me, I've never had a problem with admitting it.
No, it's
okay.
Attention's nice.
But when you talk about why people are on social media, why people post, or why you ask an artist why he's doing what he's doing, he'll tell you it's for money. He'll tell you it's for this. You know what I'm saying? But what are you going to spend your money on?
ways to get more people to give you attention.
Why is that so hard for people to admit?
But
I'm going into what he said though. Because you want something and you want attention. But the issue is you have not figured out a way. You have not figured out a way to admit it to yourself long enough to make a fucking plan on how to do it.
I gotta give a shout out.
Because you're admitting that you want something from others, and to do that for a lot of people is to swallow their pride.
I gotta give a shout out. Hold that thought.
Sure.
Mike Harrop from 16 by 20.
Yes.
We see you watching, Mike. Hey, buddy.
What's up, Mike?
Hey.
See you Saturday, pal.
For a lot of big rock star fucking badasses, they have a hard time saying or believing or thinking that they need people, and constantly seek to be validated through people who they imagined are a higher quality than them. And your whole life is chasing around endorsements and sponsorships and fucking rock stars and fucking labels. And we did it.
Nick from Darkroom Photography said that he was telling Lexi at the show in, was it Chicago? Mm-hmm. That he wants to start a new magazine, a new metal magazine online that's just based on images.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Nick,
idea.
I believe in you. Darkroom Photography for the win.
Yeah, because now everything else, Nick, Anything you want to talk or read about on social media, anywhere else, because you need social media's permission. The only thing that people do on social media is look for attention. There's no more social. It's just fucking media.
That's true. That's true. It's ads and
It's just
and,
fucking media, and
Everything's switching to
so
just
that's what I'm
audio
saying.
anyway.
But the thing is if we're all here, okay, and we haven't accepted yet that it's just media, and we're all here for attention, then we're all really confused, except some of us. That's what I'm trying to point out to you fucking weaklings. It's not embarrassing if you're here to make music. You're here to show people your art. You know, a 3-year-old doesn't draw a picture, okay, and go, man, I hope everybody hates this shit. No, a 3-year-old draws a fucking circle. He goes up to his parents and goes, fucking look at what I did, right? And everybody goes, oh my God, it fucking sucks. And you know what I mean? And everybody encourages you. And oh, fucking, you can be anybody you want to be until you hit puberty thing. Right? Right? As soon as you got a girlfriend, you got to get a job and get the fuck out the house. You need to go to school and all the other shit. But the point is nobody ever drew a picture. Nobody ever sang a song. Me and Melissa never came up with a harmony or a melody and was like, damn, man, I hope people really hate this shit.
I hope they don't listen.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, people don't go, oh, let's book the show, man. I hope nobody shows.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't,
I want to play in the closet to one person.
like, we weren't on our way to, like, Pennsylvania or Baltimore. Like, dude, you know, it would be fucking sick if nobody showed. It'd be so, but that's
Such
like
a
the
good
thing in rock,
time.
but that's like the metal thing. It's like, if anything's popular, if we agree on anything, if we like anything,
Right,
it's fucking super bitch
Don't
and I'm
be a
metal.
sellout.
and-
You're a sellout.
That's what, Rob, that's what I'm saying. So, because we get it all the time.
Yeah.
We get it all the time, and what we get it is because we admit that we're looking for attention. People go, oh, dude, shut the fuck up, Sepsiss. You guys are only talking this shit in these web magazines for attention. No shit. I'm the only person on the fucking internet to figure it out.
Listen,
Thank you for joining
I
the
got a
train.
bunch of attention the other day when I was responding to some of your comments, which is
Jesus
funny.
Christ.
It's funny, right? I wasn't trying to start a war, but I just couldn't bite my tongue anymore. I usually try to behave. You
Usually?
expose something. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation, who's in the room. You know what I mean? But what did that dude say? What was he so mad
I wanted
about?
to ask you.
I can't even remember.
I
now.
wanted to ask you.
I had to walk away because I went and looked at his posts. He had a lot of big opinions, and he had like 2 people that like his posts on the regular. And I was like, why am I even talking to this guy?
For modern bands,
Nobody cares what he thinks. His own mom didn't like the post.
you've put on a handful of shows, and you've been adapting and growing with technology, modern day advertising, the internet. Me and you have conversations about all the shit.
trying, man.
I know, and I really
It's
do.
a
Like,
work in
I
progress.
honestly, like, there was a time when you were like not listening to me at all. Now, like,
That is true.
Now you're kind of like, oh shit, this shit kind of works
There
a
was a time
little
when
bit.
You weren't listening to me either, though.
No,
I'm
no,
just
true.
saying.
We've adapted.
Yeah.
We've compromised.
We've grown as men.
For modern, and I'm glad you still booked me, by the way. Yeah, I know. We don't hold that shit against each other.
Oh,
You know,
no.
me and JP, we don't hold it against each other. I don't beg them for shows. We don't bother each other like that. Well, actually, one of the reasons that why we have such a strong friendship is because we don't do that. So that's great. We share that. But for modern bands, like how do you? We've talked pre-sale tickets before,
Yeah.
and I've said, you know, JP, I think that you're hardcore right now because the internet has really changed the way that we buy and sell. And bands have always had to wait to hit the dance floor to see who shows up to a show. But venues and promoters, and it's not nobody's fault, man. I know this. I'm not going on the attack.
Post-pandemic, what you're seeing, what a lot of people are seeing right now, is venues or promoters canceling shows
Yes.
a week to 2 weeks before the show.
Yes.
And people are like, oh, and of course, right away, everyone's like, oh, somebody had COVID. No, probably not. I mean, it happens. People get COVID
Was
or
pre-sale
flu
tickets
or whatever.
a big thing prior to that?
Yeah, so pre-sale tickets are always a big thing. And this is why, like, so everyone's all against it when they find out, oh, this promoter made this band pay 30 tickets to play the gig.
Yeah.
And everybody's all against it. But the truth of the matter is, put your money where your mouth is. You know, put your money where your mouth is. Like, you love this band, you want to go see them. Why do you wait until the very last minute to see if this ticket's available? See, everyone started doing that. Back when I was a kid, something went on sale, you went and bought it because you
Right.
didn't want to miss your opportunity. You
Right.
wanted to see that show. You wanted to be there. now everyone waits until day of.
Well, because now everybody's been trained by eBay.
Right.
Everyone's everybody now is WebMD, fucking guitar, model expert, bad motherfucker. You get a sniffle. You'll get somebody on the internet to tell you what you got. They're going to tell you the treatment for it, who to fucking pray to, what guitar scales to learn. Because everybody on the internet is now
They're
because
all geniuses.
everybody, and we've all been
Google's
encouraged.
smart.
Yeah, that's right. So now you got that whole thing, and it's like everybody wants, when tickets go on sale, everybody wants to be the smart. Being on the internet now, to even being on Loudwire, or when we go and talk all that shit, it's like you're battling smart shoppers, dude. You're battling people that consume.
You know,
and
you know what I think a smart shopper is?
What?
I think a smart shopper is the people that went and bought their tables at Swarmy Fest before they sold out.
goddamn right, you ain't
I think
playing no
that's,
motherfucking games.
that's a smart shopper. You know what I mean? Because, they're going to go and they're going to be able to sit down and order drinks.
You're right. See,
They're
when
gonna be able to watch
can I
16 by
say
20
something?
play, Trawl,
When I think
Sepsis,
about it like that, because
day
we're
with 10.
hosting this event, now I could kind of think like a promoter, and I really feel quite evil because now I want pre-sale tickets. You see what I'm saying?
Right, I know.
So I wanted to, but I wanted to show you
but I get
that
it,
I'm
though.
fair and I'm willing to look at two sides of the blade. Because when I'm not hosting it, I'm an artist, and I'm going to deal with what an artist always has to deal
Right.
with. We're going to set that drum kit up, and then in 3 hours we're going to see who's on the floor.
No, what I meant by pre-sale tickets isn't that the bands should sell tickets. I mean, I would like it if the bands that work with me sell tickets, but I'm not going to ask you or make you do that. But I mean, like actual pre-sale. Like we put up a ticket link, you put it online. You can go. I mean, you can get your tickets.
What
to the
about
venue
selling
box
tickets for
office.
money? Are you guys okay with that? Like, as an artist, if I say, hey man, you don't have to. Hey, look, no pay to play, but I'm gonna give you 20 tickets.
I've done that. I just did that actually. There was bands that were
I don't
looking for
hate
money.
that idea. And like when a promoter's like, look, I'm not gonna give you shit, but I will give you 10 tickets.
Right.
Fend for yourself, kid. I'd be like, oh okay.
You're building your show.
Okay, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
But don't hit me with the I gotta sell tickets thing. But you won't let me touch the advertising or the flyer or nothing else. Like I can't, you know what I mean? If I can't promote the show correctly, because like a lot of like gatekeeper type of promoters would be like, here you got to pay to play, but your name, like don't try me on that flyer shit. Like put
Right.
my name on the flyer. Like if you know what I'm saying, like that's what I
Wicked
mean.
Small
So
or
it's
something, like on the
if you're
flyer.
building a show and it's like, hey, here's what's contribute. Like you get people in the door.
Dude, I
help
see
me
my
out
friends
you.
are in bands and they pay big bread to play with some of these half-ass, dying, mediocre, mid-tier, barely tuned the fucking guitar motherfuckers. I'm
Okay.
telling you, they can't play better than me. I'm not the best guitar player in the world, and they can't play better than me.
Okay. We just went through 3 subjects before
I know.
we even. What were you saying? I want to comment on what you're saying. What were you saying?
I know you said something.
Something
smart,
about building
John.
the show.
You were
Like,
talking
you
about.
want to build the show.
It's one thing if it's like, hey, here's 10 tickets and you're help building your show. You're bringing people in the door. There's your guarantee. Someone's in the door and someone's definitely coming to your merch table to buy something. Most likely.
I know. I really did just talk about 3 things. I was like, the
So-
art.
Oh, I'm
the
not-
piss-
I'm
I
not
was
picking
bugging
on
the
you. I'm
fuck
just trying to
out.
get
No,
us
I
back
just
on track.
no, because I was
So-
living the experience. And I'm like, well, what
Right.
about the art?
This
And what
is-
about the
for anyone
advertising?
asking,
And
for
what-
anyone asking, this is what a conversation with Will and I in the morning is like. This
Right.
is no
No,
joke.
we're doing it right now,
Just,
like-
we just have a conversation and we just go crazy.
That's
and
why I knew this
usually
one would be
Lexi's in the
difficult
background
for
making
us.
breakfast or some shit.
We just
Or-
took breakfast.
Hey,
well, it's mainly
the other day,
me in
Lexi
the
made
background.
breakfast and
Yeah.
Cam washed the dishes. I was on the
Oh,
phone with you.
that's right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say normally I'm there like.
Dude,
pinning
Cam's
the
working
J
second
and, like,
shift now. I invited him to come on tonight. I'm hoping he can come on maybe
So,
next time.
so the other day, Lexi, you might have missed it because normally you're there when we do our meeting in the morning. But
Yeah.
I'm calling Will and we're talking crazy. We're not even talking about music. I think we were talking about my woman problems, which I always have women problems. So
That's a whole. We should have a segment on that sometime.
my sex life on the air, bad idea. So, anyways,
that's
I
just
mean,
a John
bad
thing at
idea.
this
'Cause
point.
Johnny. We put Johnny.
Well, we
on
can
there.
put. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll do that later.
yeah. I mean, honestly, Johnny, you and I could go on together because
Like I said, I think it's just a John thing at this point.
Oh, that was good. I totally missed that. So, hey, I did a post on my page because my friend Christy is a comedian and she's been complaining about her sex
Hey,
life.
Christy.
Christy's
Hi,
awesome.
Christy.
So she's been complaining about her sex life. She just broke up with the guy. She's single and she's a wicked funny comedian. So she goes on there and she talks crazy about her dating experiences now.
John, don't you get any? You should have
He
seen
met
his
her.
face.
He met her
when
at the
you
show.
said-
He met her at the show. I'm
He
surprised.
wasn't alone
Wait,
with her.
met
No,
her?
he actually left with somebody. That was the night I found him behind a dumpster, dude. No, he didn't touch her, but I'm sure he would have. It's Johnny Impact. You can't leave any women alone with Johnny
So
Impact.
yes.
Especially married women. Dudes,
was
if you
gonna
come
say-
to the show, you're bringing your girl. He's a good dude. Not a good dude to leave alone with your girl.
I was
That's
gonna
all
say,
I'm
don't give him any condoms.
saying. I shouldn't even leave the balloons on the table.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
You might get ideas.
So,
I come with
anyways,
those.
She made a comment about, like, whatever. She wants to do a reality show about dating and, like, talking about it, like dating people after the red flags slap you in the face.
Oh shit.
And I laughed and I said, you are the female version of me. So I did this post on Facebook on my page the other day. I think you saw it, right? You commented on it, I think. And I said, I don't just flirt with disaster. I give it an orgasm. You know what I mean? That's the truth. That's the problem in my life. I find crazy and then I like
Everybody just heard that.
it. I like it. I like crazy. And
That was the
Guys heard
fine
it
print
here
for
on the
JP.
Honeycomb
Like crazy.
Hideout that he likes crazy.
I
So
do
if there's
like
any
crazy.
crazy, dangerous girls out there.
Yeah. Just for a short period
Thank
of time. then
you,
gotta
thank
go.
you, Billy Bishop. Oh my God, lead singer, 16 by 20, Ed Lawrence is in it.
Too.
Yeah, he's in
Hi,
there,
Ed.
man.
Ed's my guy.
Um,
Ed and Mike are both
To
here.
Wakanu,
He's
love
fantastic.
what you guys do, Sepsis, Empire, all your own. See, the bands love what we do around here.
Nick,
so there are
Nick,
bands that do understand
Nick,
us. We don't
no
irritate
sitting on
everybody.
my lap. No dudes on my lap. Thank you, anyways. No.
Jay from the Bronx. What's up, Jay from the Bronx?
I mean, hey, if that's what you're into, I'm cool. Like, no judgment. But
Tor says, and that's why I love what you guys do. Wow, that's amazing. Shout out to my security, chief of security, Mr. Big E. Clement. in the building.
Oh, I missed you, dude. Where you
Yeah.
been? What's up?
So that's good. Oh, Dr. D Photography is in the building. Look,
I
this is a
just shouted out
star-studded
your-
event.
Everybody's
I just
joining us.
talked
This
about
is a
your
star-studded
fifth
event.
photo.
Yo, Dr. D says, amen. I know this is all tough subjects, and I want to say about
Let's
the-
not beat on it too much.
I'm
Let's
not.
get crazy
In
tonight.
fact, I want to say, let's remember that it all depends on who you poll. I mean, you got your own dreams.
And these are just our opinions. We're not,
Right.
we don't expect people to live by our
We
rules.
don't all agree with each other here
Oh, yeah,
on it.
half the
So
time,
I mean that's I just wanted to point that out that
Right.
being in sepsis, as we've shown over and over again, it comes with a lot of compromise and kind of having to live with the fact that people think and feel and look different than you. If sepsis could ever be an example of that, we certainly are it. And the Honeycomb Hideout is another, fractal branch of that. Another representation of that. I'm talking about fractal branches and everything.
All right, we're going to have to put a pin in this at some point because there's 13. There's too many.
No,
And
we could,
it's
no,
too
we're good.
many.
I just wanted to see what's your idea with what you felt as a promoter. What can you tell bands? Because that's why we have you on the show. What are qualities? Because I made fun of everybody's Spotify, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm sure you know that now. So now you probably as a promoter and a talent buyer, you go, hold on. This guy's got 150,000 followers. I know they're
got
full
it,
of
but
shit.
I know some of it's bogus. Yeah, it's usually bogus.
So other promoters know this too. Photographers know this. Aren't we going to get to a point though where we know that we know it's pictures of the parking lot. We know that, you know what I mean? We know, I mean,
I think the more
a lot of
I
my
can always
favorite
tell.
bands play on XM Sirius Radio on Sunday
Really?
at 3:00 in the morning.
Really?
And then it's over with. And I see the people in the Sirius XM groups, and they go, "Why the fuck doesn't Ava Under Fire play?" And I'm a huge Ava Under Fire fan. She is a mind-blowing, beautiful person, vocalist, and their band is killer. They are drop dead amazing. I would do anything to open up for them and play with them.
I respect you, so I'm going to check them out. I haven't checked them out yet.
Really?
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? So, a lot of the time.
And they were on whatever it is, test drive for 2 seconds. And I love their fans. They're really passionate. They're like, "What the fuck? Why isn't Ava Under Fire playing back to back?"
A lot of times when I
Bro,
watch
because
people.
she had to pay the breads up, the campaign breads up, kiddo.
I watch people online post pictures of their shows. I can usually tell when someone's lying to me.
Do you know why we were in Revolver magazine?
Because I can see the angle, and I'll usually call Will, and I'll be like, "Yo, did you see this? Nobody showed up to that, huh? There was 12 people there." But we can tell by the angle. People angle cameras,
Facts.
and yeah.
In fact, I've been trying to not do that just to prove that that's not happening.
I just did that with the last one. The
yeah,
Halloween
I've been
show.
showing people straight.
I let the
you know?
I let the photographer do his thing, and I posted those pics. And
Good man.
I mean, we weren't sold out, but we had a good crowd there.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather have a crowd that's there to see me, you
Yeah.
know, than
Yeah, we had a good crowd there. It was good. And I'm looking real forward to Swarmy Fest, and I really do think we ought to do an off-the-hook after party. Pretty sure the guys in 16 by 20 are going to get rooms up there.
Okay, so I know the places to go. So if you guys plan on coming to Swarmy Fest and you're going to do the after party, Mr. Goodbars is going to shoot. He's our keyboard player. We're going to shoot at the after party. We're going to shoot like a real deal, like hip hop, like
love
music
it.
video.
I love it.
I'm talking like fucking jacuzzis and shit. When I'm
No,
playing.
I love it. I love
We're
it
gonna go
because
nuts.
it's cool. I love it. It's because it's awesome. I love
And
it 'cause
people
it's
can
gonna be
come
lots of
and
girls.
and like
What?
yes, there will be girls, and
A lot of girls.
a lot of girls. You hear bars?
I love good bars.
A lot of
There's
girls.
gonna be a lot of girls there, but you ain't gonna come to no motherfucking after party unless you go to Swarmy Fest. So don't even think about
You're
it.
definitely gonna have the Johns there. Impact and
Yeah,
I just want to say, do you know how we got in Revolver?
no, tell me what's up.
Indirectly, we paid for it.
That's
I just to let
that's-
y'all know.
But that's how everybody gets in Revolver.
I just wanted everybody to know for sure. So if everybody wanted, the big rap magazine, they would never put heavy metal guys. It's a big rap magazine. They put us in it. It'd be funny, right, to have some heavy metal kids in the rap magazine.
I've seen that.
Okay, it was a pretty good article.
It was a great article.
It's a big article.
It was.
We paid for it. We didn't directly pay for it. I mean, you can't pay people to say nice things about you like that. I'm saying, but through our
paid.
label and through this
Right,
and
right,
that
right,
and that
right.
and whom and that.
The interview is paid for.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like
The blog was paid
Geo.
for.
right.
Geo Stowe just sent 1,000 stars.
Whoa! See, that's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Holy shit.
That's what the fucking swarmies do. That's why we don't fuck with them. That's my point. In real time, that's why you do not need somebody to stand in between you and your fans.
There is no middleman.
William Bishop just sent 200 and then another 200.
Yo, the family.
Wow.
BTMX in the building, the family. You already know what it is. Clipping on Twitch if you think it's a joke. BTMX Video Gothic in the building.
Love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Oh, I can't wait to get some of those buttons. I can push bombs and fucking.
Yes, bear with us. We're getting new equipment. We haven't got there yet.
See? So, okay,
Bear with
before
us.
anything, you see how Lexi has her new Honeybee?
I do.
So we're all
do.
supposed to have these.
No, I understand
I've
this.
got
So
one
this
at
is
the
Will
worker bee.
reaffirming the harassment he's already given me all week with the pictures I get in my text messages.
Right.
And Will is like a very persistent child that wants something.
I am.
Yes, you are.
He's very determined.
I am. I really am.
It's all good. I love you,
He
buddy.
deserves it.
Thank you. Did you hear that? Nobody ever heard. She said it really quietly, though. I just-
He deserves it. Even said it louder for the people wearing your headphones. Sorry.
This is why you need eargasm.
No, my friends, my family, actually, all you guys backed me up like ruthlessly. People don't know that. John gives me shit, but he'll fucking kill you if you fuck with me. Tell him.
Don't even
He'll get
try.
you.
I will.
That's right. You see how we.
He will find your wife.
All right, he wouldn't do.
Wait, what?
I'll
naughty
take that
stuff.
too.
And put her in Revolver.
You mess with Bro or any Sepsis band staff and whatnot.
Even
Yeah.
the staff.
I love how I really like how like soft spoken and that sounded like
That's a real serial
I was
killer
gonna
right there.
sound.
That's a serial killer right there.
Sound like you're gonna.
Hey, how are you? Do you like the weather
Hi,
today?
triple
I'm gonna cut you up
felony.
and put you in my freezer.
Triple felony.
Johnny be talking like he
When
Jeffrey
he's
Dahmer up
impact
in
for a
here.
reason.
I'm just here for your wife. So I got a funny
That's
story.
it.
So we went. So there's always a Johnny story. We went to
Love this story.
Chicago.
we went to Chicago, and shout out to Fran and Savage, man. They treated dude.
Fran Savage Lady.
First
of
of all, I am a major Mantra of Mortar fan, and I got my fix again.
Good.
And there was, dude, and they're so nice and like edgy and like so metal, and like, and they don't break character.
No.
Oh no. the
Like
whole
we're
time?
we're cheesy and corny and goofy and farny and party, but not Mantra.
No.
You know what I
No.
mean? And she was so nice and generous, and she was up there, and she was like, and you better stay for Sepsis because they're fucking good, and I like them.
I like that.
Dude.
I like
dude. You know what I mean?
Yo, she's
But
hardcore, yo.
All
She's
the
hardcore
bands
for
came
real.
out to really support each other. I mean, we see that in New England. Shout out to all the New England bands that know about that rock reset stuff, man. Bands supporting bands, and I'm a firm believer. Bands are not required. I know some people think that, but bands are not. You're not required. If you're in a band and you're playing with me, you're not required to sit there and watch. Handle your business, man. Get your gear back, and if you know what I mean, if you can make it, if you can stay, I try to encourage bands. I really do. And bands that draw with me on my projects, I'll book them again. You know, you don't draw with me on a project, I'll ignore you. If you're a band and you don't draw, I'll ignore you. But
If you're a
bring
band
some
and you
people.
want to get on a gig, and we don't know who you are, you don't
Yeah.
come to events. You're not getting on.
that's
a gig.
another thing. People that want to work with us,
I'm
come
not being.
come
That's
and
not
hang
like
out.
a threat or anything. It's reality. Like we stick with our friends. We hang out with our friends.
And the venues are also great offices. Like we don't have time to talk with everybody all the time. I know
Right.
it sounds snobby, but the best way to do is come and have a drink, sit down with me, JP, Lexi, somebody, and say, get your business card together,
Yep.
get a little portfolio or something. I'm being serious because this is what we do.
Yeah.
And come on down to the gig. We go down to the gigs. We talk to people all the time. It's not a pride thing. It's not a rock star
Something to be
thing.
said about the old-fashioned face-to-face meeting.
It is. And Fran from Savage was one of them. She contacted me earlier in the year. This is kind of personal. She contacted me in a year. Hopefully she doesn't mind. But she said, I'm a really huge supporter of the band, and I'm fucking tired of you guys not getting the recognition that you're getting.
Friend's awesome.
And that's what she said. Dude, she grabbed me and said, no, and I said, look, a lot of people don't really want to pay us or book us, and I understand it. We're really outspoken. A lot of promoters,
Yo, you're not outspoken.
As I said, we're never on the internet ever. And no, but she was like, dude, like, have no fear. Like, Chicago loves you, man. And I was like, really? And she was like, no, actually. And these fucking people, man. I mean, Elena, Bullet to the Heart, dude. Like, all these bands. And, like, one of my new favorite bands now is
Ryan
absolutely
O'Neal with 200 stars.
Eyes of Anguish.
Oh
dude.
my
200
God.
stars.
Endine was
Eyes
fucking
of-
fantastic. Like,
Eyes of
but
Anguish.
I mean, like, and I love my
Thank
New
you,
England
Ryan.
bands. You know what I mean? Maybe these motherfuckers are putting on a show, and I can't say that. And if they did, they didn't break rank, dude. But they rolled. If you ever wanted to go somewhere and feel important and taken care of, and like, it really touched me, man. I really felt special there. I did. I mean, what the venue made us feel special. To the promoter, Fran, her entire fucking staff, the catering, with food and just anything we needed at any time. It was fucking awesome. We had privacy. Again, all the bands, all of them at one point or another popped in and checked out each band. But what really fucked me up was the fucking fans, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
These fucking people love fucking rock and roll. It blew my fucking mind. If you're ever in a band, you go, I don't know if I should be doing this fucking shit. Shut the fuck up and fuck with Fran.
Shut the fuck
You know
up
what I
and fuck
mean?
with
Like,
Fran.
you gotta find. Sometimes it is about just making the right friends. You know what I mean? But like, I tell you, man, I hope she doesn't get too upset for me explaining that little moment there. But it touched me, man, and it was it was very professional, but it was personal in the sense that everybody that was there knew that this is my fucking life. This is my investment. This is my family.
I appreciate you, Will.
Okay.
I
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
your passion. I appreciate your dedication.
I gotta stop yelling like that, but it comes.
No, it's good. Ryan J. O'Neal just sent another 50 stars to match me. Who's going to match me?
What the hell? Y'all going Star? Y'all have Star?
What? We're just having a star party.
Star Wars.
Oh, it's-
And we had so much fun, and just some highlights, I guess. Some really cool highlights. We got paid.
That's always a cool
No,
highlight.
because I want good quality bands know that there are companies like Savage Ladies that throws on dope parties, fucking awesome parties. The bands are taken care of. People are fucking happy. It was super respectful. It was clean. It was fucking. I mean, people banged around. It was good. It was sweaty. It was everything you'd want from a first annual Savage Ladies presentation.
I love that all these new things that I like are popping
Everyone
up.
was
I couldn't make it to
hot
work,
and dressed
but
up,
I like that it's the
sexy. I
first
mean, it was
annual, 'cause
it was
next time. I mean, I might be there. That's
John. It was a sexy show, like the kind of shit you're into, dude.
I should have been. He just called me a pervert.
No, dude, no, there he is. I know you appreciate this thing, like the wardrobes and the
appreciate
dressing
sexy
and
women.
everybody
Absolutely.
just. I
You,
mean, it
Johnny,
was good,
I
man.
know you
and the
appreciate sexy
performances
women.
were good. And shout out to
Yes.
my man Don, who got it together on the boards. God damn it,
So
he got it together. But that was it was just a real big highlight, and they brought us Chicago deep dish.
Chicago.
Yes.
Oh, deep dish pizza. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
I'm
So
sorry.
good.
I'm sorry. I have to interject.
Yes.
It's so
Gio
good.
felt that I was challenging him with my Star Wars with Ryan, so Gio just sent another 1,000 stars.
Oh my God, I don't think you could be. You fuck with the G, man. He ain't playing. That's the Gothic, bro. This guy might be dressed better than me.
I just met him and I already like him.
He's dressed. Him and Nick are both dressed. When we got there, Gothic and Nick were better dressed than everybody in the.
That's the truth. I got a picture of me and Nick. I'll show you later.
I thought they were performers.
No,
I think,
Nick's awesome, dude.
I was really impressed with the vibe, man. It was really cool. And and then I got to meet the Chicago band mom, Laura, who was fucking awesome.
She just commented. Laura,
Really?
Laura Murray, love from your metal mama from
Oh
Illinois.
my God! What the hell?
Yeah.
Really?
Big shout out to Laura. Big
That's
shout
weird.
out
I
to
was about
Laura.
to just talk about that.
We
You
already
read my
miss
mind.
you. We
That
already
is
miss
something
you.
special. Yes.
So I was going to say something I can't remember. This is what happens when I work too much. I'm always running around. I had something I was going to say.
I can tell.
It was probably about Johnny. It was probably
You
about
had
Johnny.
that look. But I was going to tell you, Laura met me in the parking lot.
Okay.
Okay?
She's an Illinois lady.
Yes. And shout out to my buddy E-Rock.
E-Rock.
E-Rock,
Big
yeah.
shout out to E-Rock. Big
E-Rock.
shout out to
Everybody, I mean,
E-Rock.
I love you all. But one thing you don't want to do if you have friends in Chicago is agree to a handful of them that you're going to eat pizza.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess it's a big joke for Chicago people to tell you to eat deep dish pizza.
Got you.
I don't get the joke.
It's they do that as a test to see if you would try it.
To see if you a punk or something?
Yeah, I guess that's
is
the thing.
that-
They don't eat that. They don't eat
something
that.
up
They
with
don't
the
eat
dish?
it.
This motherfucker's like, yo, here's some fucking lobster and fucking scallops and clams and shit. Like, yeah, sit down, here's some chowder and fucking
Don't
cheap
make
beer.
them people mad. You know
Right,
what I
what
mean?
the
Don't
fuck?
make them mad.
All right, well, I was going to say, if anybody from Chicago, any of those bands come, especially my guys in Eyes of Anguish, I'll make sure to bring some fucking chowder.
I'm really bummed that I didn't
Chowder.
go.
When I was there, I actually said two things. I said, I fucking wish Pemberton and Hans went.
Yep. He did.
Because you motherfuckers, like I just know. You
kind of
guys
party.
are crazy. You know what I mean? Like you
We
guys
know
are-
the kind of party
You guys
y'all
are
like.
fucking crazy, but that's all right. I gotta remember that
Dude.
Swarmy Fest is in 1 week.
Dude, I'm not gonna.
And we're gonna
I'm not
flip
say
the
nothing about
fuck
our boy.
out.
I'm not gonna say nothing bad about our boy Hans because I love him, but I'm gonna tell you that after party we threw,
Yes.
it got a little weird and freaky. I mean, not in a bad
Hans?
way. No, it got a little weird and freaky.
Well, I'm telling you, I
Huh?
saw Hans
All
on
I
the
know
floor
is-
with I saw Hans in an elevator.
Dude,
with the
I don't know. All I know is this. I know that Hans was doing like Reiki on someone. It got all like
Nuh-uh.
electric and spiritual.
Wait a minute, he was rubbing
he
people's
was doing
backs.
He was
What?
doing. I don't know. It was a little. You know. It was just, Johnny was behind a dumpster. I don't know what he was doing, but Hans was doing the whole.
I was running away from
electric
Hans.
energy. You know.
That sounds like
What
somebody
you
was
say
trying
you're
to
doing?
bust
You
a
doing
nut.
what? You doing what? What are you doing?
That sounded like somebody was trying to bust a nut.
Yeah. All I know is that it was a very spiritual event, and
Yeah, somebody was trying to bust a nut.
Just keep in mind, especially dudes, keep in mind when a lady tells you that she's spiritual, demons are spirits too. Just remember that.
Yeah, no, that's
Just-
true.
Yeah.
So,
true.
what were we talking about?
No, I was
Johnny?
gonna talk about my homegirl Laura met me in the parking lot. and she brought. What did you do now? This motherfucker's nuts. So again, the disclaimer. I don't think I've ever given so many disclaimers. But can I just make another disclaimer? Anything that our bass player does,
Or anyone.
for that matter, anyone that does anything, me and Melissa aren't to blame.
No, it is not sepsis sealed.
Hans, I love you,
Right,
brother.
approval.
Thank you.
No, Hans. I love the picture with him in the Master Chief helmet. And
Oh my God, that was awesome. That's a really good pick. You got a good pick of Hans.
Well, you know, because he's an ambassador in our immaculate.
Oh, I know.
He's
I know.
a big. Oh, do
I
you
know. Yeah.
I get mad at him because he goes to the rock and roll shows and threatens people.
He
No,
does.
we were at the Fet Music Hall,
He does.
and he's got somebody in there fucking cornered, you know, and he's got the helmet on, and it's intimidating.
Another 100 stars from Ryan O'Neill.
Thank you, Ryan, for having some civility on me because
I think Gio called him out. He
right.
saw the Gio thing and he was like, no.
Gio
over
don't
here.
fuck around. Oh, damn, you guys are serious with it. But Hans had him cornered, you know, and he had the whole get up on. He had the chief helmet on,
Oh, boy.
and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And he's like, "I'm just seeing if this guy's gonna be an ICG." I said, "Immaculate Connection Gaming," and he's like, "Yeah, I want him to join the company. You know, I want him to become one of us, one of the Spartans." And I said,
Wow.
You can't go to." And I pulled him aside. I said, "You know, you can't go to all the rock and roll shows and just recruit heavy like
Hans,
this.
you can. You can. It's all good, buddy. I appreciate you.
You're gonna encourage him.
Yeah, because it's different, and I like it.
It is different.
Listen, you know, this is why we do what we do. So yeah, we did. No, seriously, it really is. So we did the heavy metal reset, right?
Yeah.
And that started out with conversations.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It started out conversations. It started out with our morning conversations about what pissed us off, right?
Yeah.
But why we do what we do on the scene, what we actually do. So I threw a party, right? I didn't want to do a show, so I threw a Halloween party. The first annual party, which means that the second one's already being planned, just letting you know. But we threw the party, and Will said to me, dude, you always throw a good party, but we got to have an after party.
Yep.
So when you throw a good party, the after party has to be fucking epic or you're failing at life.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Keep
So
that in mind.
the reason why the after party was epic is we're all weirdos. Now, yeah, we've already told you we're as different as you can. I mean, you look at us sitting at a table, or you take the picture of the after party. Not everyone was in that picture, but you take the picture of the after
It
party.
looks like a costume party, and it's not even a costume party. Like
Right.
it didn't have to
Everyone's
be a
completely
costume
different.
party
Like,
for it to be a
there were
costume
people
party.
from all walks of life, and the only one thing other than our love of music that binds us together is the fact that we're all weird.
Yeah.
We're not like the popular kids. We're not
That's
the,
true.
We're not the athletes. We're not
Right.
we're the people that go and hang out by the wall
Yep.
to see what's going on and watch everybody else.
For real.
And we wanted everyone that was like us, the fans that were like us, to come to the party and be comfortable. Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
for
you don't
sure.
see any fights at our parties. You
No.
don't see any crazy violence or
You also don't
watch
see.
each other,
You
we
also
protect each
don't.
other.
You also don't see like just general bad attitudes. Like bands
No.
are bad. You don't really get that.
No
big,
drama, no nonsense. No.
It never has been,
No.
brother.
It was a good time. We had cake and we drank. We had fun.
yeah.
The
We
best
told jokes.
combination.
Oh my God, we told all kinds of crazy stories and jokes that we shouldn't have told to the public, but we did.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's some of the. That's
And
some of
Johnny
the-
had sex, a lot of sex, but I'm not going to talk about that because he wasn't in the room.
People are going to be watching these programs and they're going to be thinking, like, they're going to be, when we keep talking about Johnny having sex with people's wives and shit like that, there's guys,
not a lie,
there's
though.
guys that are going to be sitting on the, they're not going to come, they're going to,
It's not
there's
a lie.
going to
You're
be
not
guys
allowed to
sitting
go
on
to
the
the
couch
show.
like this.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Nan-
you think.
Right.
What do you mean you
Nancy?
want to go to
Right.
Swami Fest?
Right. Well, this is the way, so if your wife wants to go to Swami Fest,
Yeah.
you're actually doing,
Accompany her.
I was going to say, you're doing us a solid because you're going to buy the extra tickets.
That's right.
Click it or ticket.
Because if you send her on her own, that guy's a danger.
Yeah, well, so Johnny,
Johnny can't help it. He's a very sexual.
no, he
being.
made out. He made out with somebody in the parking lot.
In
One of the
Chicago.
fans-
I already
one-
heard about this.
You heard about
yeah,
this
I
shit?
heard about this. People tell me things.
How'd
I'm the
you hear
manager.
about that?
How did you
John-
fucking hear about
I'm the manager,
that?
John.
I was
No,
gonna
how'd
blow
you
up the
hear
spot
about
right
that?
now.
It was the one thing I'm going to say about this without.
I don't. And
I'm
the
not
fucking crazy
I'm
thing
not going
is,
to call anybody out. I'm going to tell you this. I have witnessed or heard about Johnny having relations with several women in the last month, and they were from all different age groups.
Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying?
No,
All
no,
different age
Yeah, I'm
groups?
gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this.
God.
I'm gonna tell you this, ladies, pay attention. And I'm not picking on anybody because I'm gonna tell you right now, I love women. Everyone knows I love women. How many women have been?
I was gonna say, if
since we've been
Sepsis
friends.
is the United Nations
Yeah.
of metal, you're the United Nations of pussy.
Yeah, I love women. So
I like that.
here's the thing. If you're an older woman, you know, I don't know. I don't care about age, but I'm just saying, if you're an older woman, if you have a family.
Hey man, look, there's no expiration date to busting a nut.
No, I love them all.
Facts.
But I'm just saying, if you have a family, and you come to the show and you groupie out, like, more power to you. I love you, but your teenage son with the Sepsis poster on the wall, he might not like the fact that you're banging the bass player. I'm just saying. It's a little weird.
Basically, right. Basically, so Johnny's in his 20s, but if you're an older lady, you could come out and Johnny would jump your bones.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
I've seen it. It's a fact.
He's into
and
it.
There's some kid somewhere scratching his head in his room that's either like, wow, that's really cool. My mom's a groupie. Or he's like, ooh.
She's in the
mom's a
kitchen like
groupie.
she's in the kitchen like supernatural. That's funny,
It's a John thing.
Yo,
we
clip
wouldn't
that.
understand.
Yo, clip
Clip
that.
it.
That's why it was
Please
a lot
clip
of.
that.
It was,
You know that was bad.
it was a lot more boobs at the live show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So and that's the thing. So everybody wants to know what the Johnny Boop Boop thing is.
yeah.
So when we were in Chicago, when we got to the part, because you know how Melissa does the whole "in this guy in this corner,"
Yep.
and William's a fucking guy,
Yep.
and then and you do the wizard thing, and then we get to the Johnny part. And now, you know, I'm always curious of how many boops we're going to get.
Yeah.
It's like the let's go fuck it. We never really know how many let's go fuck it. Like, who's going to get the symbol count and get in there, you know, and do it
Yeah.
right. But, oh, no. We got to it, and Melissa goes, Johnny fucking Impact, and the whole club, boop, boop. I said, get the fuck out of here.
First time ever, the
Holy
whole
shit.
club
This is why I
Get
said I'm
the
not sure
fuck-
Cam's the hardest guy in the band anymore. Because
crazy.
Because Johnny
He's risen.
He's literally
risen,
he's
bro.
literally on the
He's
tide.
risen.
He's on the
Yo,
risen
you've
tide
risen, bro, into-
of metal, and
He's
it's
risen on the
and he's
right
changed
metal,
it, and he's
dude.
changed it because it's no longer sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's just sex and rock and roll.
Fuck it.
Right? Fuck the
Yeah,
drugs,
fuck
man. We don't
them.
need drugs.
No, because see, this is what you don't know, okay? This is what you don't know. Is the thing is with John, as we said, he needed a brand, and he was like, I don't know what to do, man. I need to make T-shirts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you don't have anything going on yet. And he goes, I can't think of anything. He goes, but there is one thing that I like about Sepsis. And I said, what is that? He goes, when I think of my brand in Sepsis, I think of let's go fuck it. And if you didn't know, the person, everybody in the band gets to make stuff like T-shirts or whatever. We have a lot of creative real estate here. We let everybody create. Not every band can do that. But people go, who gets to write? Whoever the fuck wants to. Who gets to book?
right.
Whoever's got a good venue.
What you got?
Right. What do you got? What you got to put into? Everybody here adds value. Especially, I did not write the keyboard theme to You Already Know.
I dropped another. Who can match me? Who can match me?
What match?
You did not write the keyboard theme?
No, Bars wrote that theme, man. It's one of my
I already
favorite.
knew that.
Did you know that?
I did.
I love that.
Because he's the
Appreciate
wizard.
that. I appreciate that.
No, that's like there's no better riff than that. It's like almost a Lion King type. It's fancy.
That's powerful. That's a
It
statement.
really is. It's like
That's a
banana na na banana na na na. It's fucking nuts. Yeah. So he's responsible for that.
All right, so sorry. Let's move. We got to get into another subject because we're just having a good time now. People are gonna be like, "What are they talking about? Anything?"
We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
We were fired up earlier.
So
We
I
talked
was
about
gonna, I
some
thought I
stuff.
was gonna blow everybody's mind with the fact that Johnny was out in the parking lot fucking the fans again.
No, they're
Listen,
cheering
listen,
him
time
on.
out, time out.
So if
Hold-
you're a fan
hold
and you want to have sex with my bass player,
He's available.
just be upfront about it.
several times a day, he's available. So here's the thing.
Please don't cut into set time. That's the only thing I ask of y'all.
Listen,
Is
listen,
try
Not
to
I'm
cut
just
into
gonna
set
coordinate
time.
this.
Johnny, this is not. I'm not bashing you. I love you, dude. I really do love you like a little brother. But here's the thing. I would much rather, as the manager type, I would much rather be like,
How do you
where the fuck is Johnny, and know that he's behind a dumpster banging some girl,
That's
then
true.
where the fuck is Johnny and he's doing the wrong thing?
So that's
You
the
know
thing,
what I
like,
mean?
Right.
and the
sex
thing
never the
is
wrong
like
thing.
you were the promoter that night. So it's like you.
Yeah.
I noticed like we were worried about where Johnny was,
no, I already
but
knew
you
where Johnny
weren't.
Was. No, I knew where he was.
And that's what really fucked me up.
I
and I
watched
kept
him.
coming to you
I-
like, "What's up, man? Where's
So-
Johnny at,
so
bro? Like, what's
before-
going on?" You're
so
like, "He's
before
good."
The dumpster,
Like-
Johnny had sex in a car, and I know
They
that
moved
because
to the dumpster
Hold on,
after
look.
the car.
It's more room.
hold on, the first time
more
was,
room.
was a vehicle because I
That's
saw
disgusting.
him leave. I saw him leave with someone, and I saw them enter the parking lot. So yeah, unless they went
Yo,
behind
he
the
just
dumpster
made-
over
yo.
there, I'm assuming it was a vehicle.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Right. So then the second time was at the hotel, and it was behind a dumpster, and I literally rolled my window down, and I know people were walking
This is
from
awful.
their vehicles, and I yelled, "Johnny, we have 19 rooms rented. What are
That
you doing
shit-
behind the dumpster?"
Right,
And he
dude.
just turned around and looked the other way, like he didn't hear me or see me.
Hey, yo, free. That's about the baddest time is the homeboy Dean fingering what's that girl's name all the way back from Ohio.
Oh no!
Oh,
no!
Oh no! I love
Bro.
That's
Best laugh in heavy metal. right
Whoa.
Best laugh in
Yo. All I seen is Melissa hit the window like psh, psh. I said, "Yo, is somebody fingering somebody right now? Right now?" We're all trying with amplifiers and cymbals up
Gio
our
just
ass.
sent another 1,000 stars.
Oh shit.
And his statement is, "John, the Goth defeated the Romans, and video killed the radio star."
Yo, no tartar sauce.
Gio, you are serious.
No
Unfortunately,
tartar
you
sauce.
dude.
please no tartar sauce.
Welcome to New England. What the fuck?
Park the car,
Yo.
guy.
So we're out of time.
Wait, what?
We're out of time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just get to the thing.
That's okay. Whatever.
Like,
Right,
what
we got
about the
next
other
week.
thing?
We could do. Hold on. What do we got?
There
here?
was so
What was
much things.
We always
just
do
have
this
so
every
much fun with
time.
this, though. You know what I mean?
We don't know what the.
And it's
fuck we're
not my
doing.
fault that the bass player bangs
Can we-
everything that moves.
We'll do one more. We'll do one more, and then we're gonna go. And then because we have one more before Swarmy Fest, so we're gonna talk about all of that again, anyways.
Yeah, we have
So-
to really limit our points, I think.
Let's do
get
the
crazy.
let's do the last one, and we're out of here. According to Lexi, everyone's mad about what?
Hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the Honeycomb Hideout with Will Savant, Johnny Impact, myself, John Pemberton. Behind the scenes, Mr. Goodbars, our wizard. But right now, you're in for a treat because again tonight, this is According to Lexi.
Oh yeah, I
Swarm.
love that. No, we got to get that going.
Thank you.
So what happened with Lizzie Hale? Everybody's mad at her.
Oh, I like
everyone's
Lizzie
mad
Hale
at
though.
her.
Well, apparently,
I mean,
so
I wouldn't- I
it's the
wouldn't
thing
throw
about
out
they
that.
say that everyone one of these little meme mad guys. What they talk about that she is disappointed in her fans because she said she doesn't care if she alienates them. I think they paraphrased her. What's it all about?
Do you want to read the whole article?
I mean, if it's that interesting, give us the gist.
Here's the thing: most times reporters don't tell you what you actually said.
Right? There's
though.
there's
They
no.
flip it,
I
they
know,
cut it,
I
they
know that.
edit
There's no such thing as rock and roll
Right.
journalism.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, the title of the article is Lizzie Hale isn't worried about alienating Hailstorm fans with her
That's
opinions.
clickbait. She wouldn't be worried. Neither is Melissa Wolf.
Right.
At last month's Louder Than Life festival in Louisville, Kentucky, Hailstorm frontwoman Lizzie Hale was asked by Heavy Conscience if she is ever concerned about alienating a portion of the band's fans when she takes a stand that doesn't match their current political views. She responded, "I feel like my mission statement always is search for those fundamental truths and those unwritten like, hey, let's be kind to each other. A long time ago, I was like, look, if I ever get to the point where people are listening, for better or worse, because I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a politician, I'm going to put out that positive energy and stand up for the things that I believe in. I don't really worry about alienating people because I feel like if you can't love somebody as you do yourself, if you can't just be happy for somebody that's chasing after their own happiness, and if you are that type of person that would hate somebody just because of their political views or who they like to kiss or because of their gender, then I don't care whether you like our music or you like me. She also continued saying, the wonderful thing that comes with speaking up, and it's up to the individual. This is just me personally. I feel like I'm in a position that I can give somebody some hope, and if they see themselves reflected in what I say or do, that's just another wonderful thing. I get so many letters and individuals coming up to me at shows and just crying on my shoulder about how they found something, or maybe by me putting that out there makes them a little braver to be their truest self. So yeah, she's got to put it
I
out
could say
there.
that from my personal experience that I know that there's a line to cross. I know that there's a line that everybody has. Like there's some things that people just can't say or do. You know what I mean? There definitely is a place, a standard in every individual. But like in our experience, because they're a band, right? And we're a band. I know that our fans disagree with us all the time. We love them. You know, and I know that Will says stupid shit online that people don't agree with.
Right.
And, you know, me and Melissa say dumb shit. And we get people riled up about controversial
Just
topics.
in our own camp. I mean, let's face it. Everyone knows I work in law enforcement full time.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
right.
conservative. Most of the musicians I work with are liberal.
Right,
so
right.
Politics doesn't get in the way of our friendship.
It really hasn't. We said something earlier in Blabbermouth or something.
Yeah, so that
early,
was, so
and I just want to know
so basically
if we
there's
could
no
wrap up
politics.
on that. And
Yeah, so what happened was Sepsiss was commenting on the fact that people shouldn't get on their social media or out there in the public and talk crazy about stuff.
there's a lot of
artists.
artists that I love that I don't share their view. That's
Right,
just
right.
I'm not saying that that's a requirement to.
And so
there is a
was
line.
a guy, I won't mention his name, but there was a guy that came on and basically
He would love that, wouldn't he?
disagrees. Yeah, he would love the attention. I'd be the only one giving it to him. He said he didn't agree with you, and it shouldn't matter. Yada yada yada. Listen, music is political, right? Like for years and years, a lot of musicians wrote impactful songs about what they believed about what was going on, and that's great. And as a promoter, yeah, put it in your music. But the minute you get out there and you start talking on social media or preaching from the pulpit about what you believe, you are potentially offending or at least raising red flags for half your audience. If you have a ticket, a concert, you've got 200 people in the small room. 100 of them might be conservative, 100 might be liberal. Maybe not, but maybe so. Mm-hmm. And as a promoter, I don't want to lose their money. So this has happened to me, and there was a band I worked with. I won't mention any names again. Mm-hmm. They weren't super popular. They were a local type band, and they went and said a bunch of crazy during the whole election thing, And I didn't care. It doesn't matter whether they agreed with me or disagreed with me or whatever. Yeah. I wouldn't have aired my opinion at that time because I don't want to alienate people that are buying tickets to the shows. What I think personally shouldn't matter to whether you have a good time at a show or not. So I'm not going to stick it
going
in
to
your
the
face.
beach is going to the beach.
Right. So these guys didn't get what I was saying. I was like, stop that or I can't work with you. And they continued and thought I was an idiot. And that's fine because they're probably still playing in their mom's basement to the same 4 friends that have been going every weekend to see them play in the basement.
Can I ask you a personal question, everybody?
Because they don't understand it's a business.
Is it possible to have friends or good or healthy? Is it possible to have healthy relationships with people and agree with them all the time?
No, that's not. You're not thinking for yourself. That's.
I mean, even at work, small talk, sports. The kind of scales, the guitar work, or whatever.
I don't need to.
Is that a place we want to hang out all the time?
Right?
That's that's the strange thing. Even if it's a person you love to bits and pieces.
Well, we joke a lot about like.
I know we live in a customized world here, and I'll be the first one to say me and Melissa get in a lot of trouble for shit that we say on the internet.
No, I know that, but I think
so. People have walked. People have definitely.
My opinion, but I think a healthy relationship, whether it be your friends or significant others, or a healthy relationship is with 2 people. Challenge and help each other grow.
Yep.
Right? You want to grow in the same direction, but you don't have to be exactly alike. I mean, that's the point. How boring is that? If we were all exactly the same, what kind of weird, boring world would that be?
There wouldn't be any Lexi because she is unique.
If we were all the same, Johnny Impact wouldn't be banging women behind a dumpster at a hotel parking lot.
We'll,
I love this kid.
we are going to be back. Not Wednesday, but Wednesday let me.
Wednesday, let me.
2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, we'll be back 2 weeks from tonight.
Hump Day.
November
And
2nd.
November 2nd. So here's the thing, folks. It will be 3 days before Swami Fest.
Yeah.
Buy your pre-sale tickets.
I would love to have
Rent a table.
plural. I would love to have some guests. They don't have to be like Swarmy Fest guests, but I would love to have like some guests next week. Anybody want to come on and chat if you think you got something to add,
reach out
you got
to
value.
One of us if,
That's okay.
Yep. And it doesn't. You don't even have to be a musician. We might.
Yeah,
make
but if you
exceptions.
even if you did like, because somebody said to me, I would love to come up and play,
Sure.
on the Honeycomb Hideout, and I said, okay, great, come on over.
Yeah.
I have a slot this week. He said, I can't. I said, why is that? It's because I had my band works till I said, well, you play guitar and sing. What about an acoustic performance?
Oh, we could do that too.
And you don't have to
love
bring
acoustic.
an orchestral
We
fucking.
do have guests two episodes from now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Devil's Hop Yard.
What?
All right? That's what I heard.
Yeah, Brian. Oh, we're gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rocket.
Oh
Brian,
yeah. We're gonna
my
have a good
guy.
time.
Oh
And
my
we're
God.
gonna
My
have.
body dressed like the devil. Did you see that?
He's coming as the devil the whole time.
Yeah.
He's coming as himself.
Yeah. No, dude. Seriously. I
And
have pictures
we got
of
some crazy,
devil on my
wacky
merch
games for them, like spin around in circles and
Yeah.
take shots and pin the tail on the bass player and everything. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, he should wear that outfit all the time. Every
Everywhere
day.
I
wear it to
think,
bed.
and this goes to Brian, the
Brian.
Devil's Hop Yard.
Rocket!
I wish and hope that you wear the devil. I'm not even gonna call it a uniform. I think you should be yourself all the time, and I think you should be your as much as possible, as much as you can get away with it. I think you should, because everywhere you go, you can talk about the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't see why, like that. I mean, that's a killer thing to do. Anytime you're not at work or you're not going to get like punished for it in public, fucking do it. And then rule number 2, bring that fucking mask with you when you come here.
Fact.
So we can all design this motherfucking
Oh, yeah,
shit.
that'd be cool.
That'd be sick.
Dude, it'll be fucking awesome. The only thing that
Yeah.
needs to happen is it's got to just be customized, but you have to take it serious. And it should change throughout his fucking career.
Oh,
like
yeah.
as it wears.
Add to it.
And
Oh,
fu-
yeah.
oh, get the fuck
Yeah,
out of here. Add
absolutely.
studs
Brilliant.
to it.
I
And
like it.
fucking maybe give it to a makeup.
Bedazzle it.
Oh, dude, give it to like a look at Johnny's face. What?
No, bro, it sounds great.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we'll see you guys not this next Wednesday, but the
2
following.
weeks from tonight.
Not Wednesday.
At the Honeycomb Hideout.